No, what was that noise? It sounded like somebody's like tummy rumbling.
No idea. What are you talking about?
No,
Cameron is actually tweaking out right now, guys.
like I heard a little exact noise, like the whenever I'm hungry and I'm like I hear a bubbly in my stomach and I just open my mouth like the noise.
Cameron's.
Don't look at me like I'm weird. Oh shit, this is on camera. It's recorded.
That's
Okay,
the trick.
well, there it is.
All right. Okay, so. All right, are we ready? Are we ready for that? Dungeons and Dragons. That's hosted by someone who doesn't know how to host Dungeons and Dragons. Whoops. So Ariar's Whale. I'll need my actual dice out for Vorxan as well, because Vorxan's gonna be tagging along in this journey as well, but he's just gonna do whatever. He doesn't have diplomatic immunity because I'm Dungeon Master. I promise. Just for fairness' sake, I considered it.
Community's an interest.
I considered it. Because I would be like, the presiding god of the realm, and I would just like, actually, he just rolls 20s all night.
No, you for yourself, you have to flip a coin.
No, I want that idea that someone had where it was like a D20, but it was like all ones and 20s, and someone pointed out that that's just a 50% chance to just flip a coin, and it's like, no, you need a 20-sided die for the drama. So, all right. So, are you guys ready? We find ourselves, we set our scene, in the marketplace. Everyone's kind of, everyone's a little confused. So we find our crew, sans Maven.
Hello.
They're in kind of a marketplace. It's a little bustly, a little hustly, but not as busy as it usually is in the center of the town. So of where the trials are going on. Everyone, does anyone want to do anything in particular, or do you just want to let me keep going?
I would like to look real quick just for some kind of tasty meat on a stick.
Okay, well, Cameron is kind of parting from the group just a little bit.
No, like as we're walking along, I want to know, like.
Okay, well, so we come to kind of a, it's not an alley exactly, but part of the market kind of branches off. So it's sort of a main section, like an artery, basically, of the market. That branches off to a side, and so it kind of dead ends. It branches off into actual alleyways, but it's effectively dead ended. There's buildings all around you guys, so you guys are kind of looking around. There's vendors and stuff like that. Pocket. Feel a small nudge on your side. You look down, down behind you. Actually, you see a little old man, probably somewhere in the range of maybe like 160-ish, maybe. Very clearly Elven, an older gentleman. Well, old for Elven. Actually, I don't think 160 is old.
160 ain't that old for Elven.
I know. I that was clicking. So anyway, maybe not
an old Elven man.
Yes, old Elven man. Little cane on him. That's what he kind of had poked you with. And excuse me, you look very capable. Are you all a group here?
In a sense,
I honestly have no idea. Oh.
Was that Meredith saying she has no idea, or was that Pocket?
I kind of gently
I don't know. Am I next to Ivy right now?
I'm a good child. I'm a good child, so I walk up.
Crew.
It's like, in a sense, sir, yes. How may we help you?
Well, that's very, very helpful, actually. I was looking for a group of strong youngins to help me out with something. If you're up to it. I know you adventuring types are always busy with all sorts of things, and with the Rites of Suncrest going on, I know you're probably all busy, but if you had a couple extra hours, I could use some help.
Yes, we'd love to help you.
While we have no crest, sir, we will help as we can.
Oh, thank you, youngins. So well, actually, what it is my children, they worry about leaving their old man on their own. He's a very gesture talker. He's kind of like gesturing his cane. That's now holding it in the middle instead of on the edge. Middle of his cane, kind of gesturing all around. See, my children, and he points off into the distance, kind of at nothing in particular. They don't like their old man being on his own anymore. I'm getting up there a little bit, as you can tell, and they don't think I can provide as much anymore. So I offered to cook this year's. We have a regular feast, as it were, for the giving of thanks to our family, and so they left it on me because I insisted more, but they left it on me to prepare this feast, and I found myself a little more over my head than I was expecting. So I was wondering if you guys would come out and help me out prepare everything.
You want us to help you cook food?
Well, there's more to it than that. I have a little bit of land outside of the city, and so I like to gather everything on my land. I find it's fresher out there, so we like to gather everything up out there. And I just need a little bit of the help with, there's some we have some natural patches of berries and potatoes that they all cook up real nice, and there's even some wild game that I was gonna have. They're just too fast for me nowadays. So I was just
Can we
wondering if
get some of this
you'd be
food?
willing to help me out.
I want to do an insight check on this old dude. I don't
Can
trust him.
I as well? Actually,
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if I.
Can we get some of this food if we help you out?
Absolutely. If
Because, I
you youngins are more than willing to help me out, my youngins, they always love the adventure stories, and they love to hear the adventurers talking about all your adventures.
So is this
17.
insight?
17, Cameron, do you want to roll inside as well?
Yeah, I did.
You find that
No. I rolled a 22.
a 22. Okay. You find that he's being 100% truthful, if not a little ashamed as well that he's having to ask for help.
Aw.
But he's being very truthful, and he does genuinely need the help setting up what he's going on out there at his land. So do you
Alright.
find that you'd be willing to help me out for the day?
I believe
Of
that
course.
with a touch of Palos grace, that we can be of most help.
So he kind of taps his cane on the ground a couple times, and a little cloud comes around, and he hops on top of the cloud, and he says, "I don't walk around quite as quick anymore, so I found this magical cane that summons clouds I can ride on." So
That's normal.
he kind of gestures and gestures for you guys to follow him. So you guys follow him out of the city. You walk for maybe a half hour, maybe a little bit longer once you get outside of the city walls, and you come upon this really grandiose looking mansion. It's got windows everywhere. It's got an entrance and a wraparound porch on the front. The entrance is this really like grand oak doors, really gorgeous. You figure at least 3 stories going up in this house. And as you guys kind of walk up to the entrance, he
Now,
points with
when
his
we're
cane.
talking about sorry to interrupt. Talking about the construction, this looks like an old southern town house.
Yeah, it does a little bit, but well, it's like half southern townhouse kind of thing, but with the grandiose of like a French architecture.
I'm stunned. Let's go.
So-
Elves, yo.
And it's all trimmed with so the wood has a dark, deep brown color to it, and most of the trim around all the windows and everything has a kind of gold touch to it. It's absolutely gorgeous house. So anyway, so he gestures his cane over and points you guys kind of around the house, and obviously he's floating on his little cloud. He floats around the side with you guys, and you arrive at the. Let me get this camera turned on. At the backside of his house. So let me make sure this comes up on Josh's. All right. So you arrive at the backside of his house. This is a compass. This is pointing north that way. Is this supposed to be
Okay.
like this? So that's the backside of the house. He's got you see a table out in front of you guys and a couple fire pits out to the side, and kind of the edges of the
Am I
map.
supposed to be saying something? Because I don't see anything.
It's on Josh's screen?
Yeah, Josh's screen. If it's up yet.
Click on Josh's
But-
square.
If not,
I just had to click on it. Sorry.
yeah, no, you're good. So, he arrives you and kind of leads you guys. So he has this table set up out here, and he kind of motions his cane to. Also, I forgot to say. So part of the crew, when you guys left, Ulrich and Delric kind of wanted you guys to have a little bit of extra company. So, he sent Reggie with you to go to the markets, and then you guys kind of accepted this, and Reggie's just kind of like trailing along with you guys. He feels like an outcast a little bit because
Wait a minute. Reggie was.
Reggie was the hunter alchemist, or ranger alchemist rather.
The guy we hate.
The awful one.
Yeah, the awful one. That is the same. I want to say so.
Oh, that Reggie. Yeah.
he's
Okay. Okay.
Him, Vorxan, and Solace have been a little quiet. They were
Grumpy.
distrustful at first of the old man, but on account of free food, a free feast, they're more than willing to come with. So as we kind of come up, so this you see this really grandiose table spread set up, and then over here out to the side you see a couple fire pits for cooking the food once it's gathered, and everything out to the edge, past on the north side and the east-west of the area that you see here is all thick forest. You can see a couple trails leading off in a couple of the directions. But if you kind of peer down them, they kind of trail off into the woods, so you can't really see too far down them. So the old man, that is, by the way, that is his referring title too. So if you need to refer to him, he is the old man.
Old.
Yeah, old man. So the old man kind of gestures with his cane and kind of lines you guys up in a straight line down the table fashion. And then he kind of points to, I can't remember which dice were which. I know this was me. This is Reggie. Solace. White was Brooke.
Yes.
Okay, so Brooke, Pocket, and then I think this was you, Ivy.
Blue yellow.
Blue yellow?
No. Sorry.
Blue red.
Don't listen to me.
Blue red, right?
I'm memeing.
Hi, Emerald.
Hey, Emerald, you look cool.
Oh,
We followed an old man.
perfect
So-
timing.
Emerald, want me to crash
Hold
course
on.
here?
I
Okay.
can't hear you.
I'm gonna go
For some reason.
bathroom. I'm gonna go bathroom extra quick.
Okay. This is actually really perfect timing.
I'm black and blue.
Okay. Wait, black and blue?
Also, can I ask a question real quick that I wanted to ask,
Okay.
but I forgot?
Yes, you can.
That marketplace we started out at, did we know that place? Right.
Yeah, you've passed through it before. It's in I can't remember the name of the town. Whoops, I forgot it.
Bestia?
Bestia, thank you.
Okay.
So it's in the kind of outskirts of the city, right outside of where the trials are.
You know
Okay,
what
got it.
day this is?
No,
Yeah. Do we know how we got there? Like, I
you were
mean,
sent there by
you
kind of
said-
early on in the day by Ulrich and Delric. But again, early
what
on,
happened? Like
early on in the day, you don't remember exactly what day that is.
All right,
Okay.
what have I missed? Sorry.
So, you and along with everybody else, sans Maven, followed an old man who had a request for you guys. He needed some help setting up a giving of thanks feast that he does with his family. He's a old elven man, very short, and basically he needed help setting up this feast because his children kind of worry about him living on his own, and he wanted to prove that he was able to do it. So he found himself a little over his head, and he requested the help of some adventurers, which happened to be you guys. So, whenever Cameron wants to get back from his bathroom break, I also Kiki and Ivy did insight checks. The man was being genuine, if not a little ashamed, that he had to ask for help because he wanted to be, strong and proving that he could do it on his own, but at least making sure that he can have everything set up and that his children kind of have provisions for them that he's okay with asking for a little bit of help from outsiders.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh my goodness.
Also, Reggie's with us. I don't know if.
Oh, I didn't say that. Thank you. Raven. So
okay.
yeah, so when Ulrich and Dollar let you guys kind of wander off, he sent Reggie with you guys. So you do have Reggie there.
All right.
Well, I guess Cameron can be down the line. So anyway, so the old man, as you can see, so Josh is kind of like our setup. So the old man has this grandiose mansion. He's walking around the backside of his mansion. There's a really grand table spread. It's not set up yet. It's just a table with a cloth over it. The black circles are a couple of fire pits, and you can see out to either all the sides around you that there are paths leading off into the woods that you can't see very far down as the woods kind of like trail off a little bit.
So wait, is that outside a window? I thought we were in a mansion.
No, he walked you around the side of his mansion.
Oh, this is the side. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
this is actually the backyard, effectively.
Oh, understood. Okay.
And then, like I said, all around you is thick forest. Cameron, what are you doing?
So what
I see him
exactly
corner.
are we meant to be doing right now?
He was about to give everyone tasks to do,
Oh, okay.
and then tools to do those
We're gonna
tasks,
take
and we
a
were
lot
just
of
waiting
food.
on. Yeah. No, I mean not necessarily. All right, Cameron, are you back? Cool. So as the old man, he kind of uses his cane a little bit to kind of gesture you guys to line up. So he's kind of in front of you guys, almost like a drill instructor, and you feel a little weirded out that this is the kind of situation. So kind of one by one, he walks to you guys with his cane and walks up to each one of you, starting with we'll start with Pocket. Okay, so he walks up to Pocket All right. Well, so we need to do a couple of things first. We need the turkey, obviously, for the feast. We do also need to get a couple of veggies that I have around. They're going to be out in the forest. That's where I find the best ones grow. I'll also give you guys a little bit of toolage so that you're not out there and trying to find these things on your own. I'm not sure if you guys are the adventuring and battle kind of type or if you're the nature kind of types, but I've seen all kinds, and the druids are usually my favorite for finding the greens out in the forest.
Leon,
I'm pretty good at finding things in the forest.
Well, you look like to me you're a bit of a strong one, so what I'll have you do actually, and he kind of walks up to you straight in front of you, looking your face on. Very tiny, of course, so you're kind of like looking down at him, and he's kind of like looking at your thighs. But he kind of sets his cane and like sticks it into the ground a little bit so it stays there at his side. And he has his hands out in front of him, and you see his hands empty, covers them, and turns them over, and there's a small box in his hands. You might need this for what I'm going to have you do. As what I appear to be the strongest, I'm going to have you take this, and you're going to catch us the turkey if you're all right with that. So you want to take the box? It's a small wooden box. No markings on it or anything. So, so Meredith opens the box. There's a looks like it's just flat with a small little rod sticking out of it. Do you want to pull on the rod?
I guess so.
So you pull on the rod, and out comes a whole pair of boots. And as the boots come out, the wooden box kind of crumbles as if it were meant to only hold those boots. The boots have you find that they're really light as you pull them out, even though they look like heavy hiking boots. You find that they're really light. These were something that old family member of mine used to use for the hunting of the turkeys. If you'll find if you put them on, you can catch the quickest turkey. So would you like to wear the boots?
Goodness. Will these fit? I immediately try to put them on.
Yeah, no, they look like they were like made just for you.
Those
Oh
would be
man,
huge.
these look so good.
So
this is
you notice
fancy.
you notice as you bend down to start putting the boots on, that a piece of paper, almost like a fortune, fell out of the box. You want to pick it up and read it?
Oh yeah. Do-do-do.
So you find that the fortune says, I'll find the right one for you. Fortune says, "A quick thank you makes all the difference." You can hang on to this for later. It could be important. It might not be important, but proverbs are always nice. So-
Ravioli.
That's
Thank
so as
you so much for these boots.
Find me the biggest
Please.
turkey and bring him back when you finished. So he walks next over to Kiki.
Yeah.
You look like you might be one of the nature-y kind of types, at least out of this group anyway. And he kind of like haphazardly gestures to everyone else. So what I'm gonna have you do, if you're all right with it, we need the best potatoes that you can find and dig up. So he does the hand thing again and produces another box. And you take
Okay.
it and you open it up, same rod thing as Pocket had, and you pull on the rod, and out comes this really, really long and elaborate shovel. And you find the shovel is dense, but you can hold it as if it's not really heavy. Has kind of a sheen to it. That shovel is another family heirloom, as the tools that I have for the rest of you are. So that shovel, my great nephew used to always use to find the best potatoes. You just point it around and think really hard of the kind of potatoes that you want, and you'll find them easy peasy.
Wow.
He next walks over to Solace. He walks over to you next. Kind of like
All right.
eyes you up and down a little bit, because you find that he's like kind of like 3/4 of your size. He's a little short elven man, like I said, old elven man. Kind of eyes you up and down a little bit. You look like you might be a strong type, but I'm fancy not as quick as the blue one over there. So what I'm gonna have you do, and he pulls out another box, same way, hands you to the box, and as you do the same thing, you pull on the rod. You pull out this massive axe with a kind of silvered edge on the actual blade of the axe,
Mhm.
and a really ornate carved wooden handle, a couple of gold rings around the actual handle itself, and the handle is just perfectly set with the blade itself, so that the carvings go as if, well, not as it was crafted so that the carvings on the wood kind of bleed over onto the actual metal itself.
Nice.
My grandpapa used to use this axe, chop down the biggest trees in only a couple of hits, and then use the same box, you notice that your box didn't crumble as it fell to the ground. Also, we'll get back to everyone has pieces of paper in front of them. We'll kind of like I'll have you guys pick them all up in a second. My grandpappy used to use this, chop down the trees quick as lickety split, and use that box to bring them all back. It's kind of like a pocket dimension. It'll store as many logs as you can cut down, and I'll point you where the best trees are in just a moment. He next
Alright.
walks over to Vorxan and just kind of stares at this beady-eyed dragon who's just kind of standing there not doing much. You look like you're a kind of sneaky type, aren't you? Vorxan just kind of stares him down. Well, sneaky types usually have pretty good eyes, so does the box thing again. Produces the box, and Vorxan pulls on the rod, and out comes a well, looks kind of like a monocle, but it has a blue tint that changes to a clear tint. So it kind of like varies from blue to clear and kind of switches back and forth. Not quite even like a gradient, but it just kind of almost like it's resonating with something. What I'm gonna have you do with Mr. Good Eyes here is go out and find there's a good patch of berries, but I can't ever for the life of me remember where it is. So I'm gonna have you head out to the forest and gather just as many berries as you can. Vorxan's box also did not break. He gestures to Vorxan's box. Stick them in the box, same as the axe wielder over there. Finally, he walks to. Oh, I forgot we have Reggie. He walks over to Ivy. You seem like you're the religious type of the bunch, save for the. You're a paladin, aren't you? To Solace.
Yep.
Like you're a more religious type than that one over there. So if you're all right with it, does the box thing again. Produces you a box, and you same as before. Pull on the rod.
Pull the rod.
The rod actually stays a rod, and out come with it 3 vials of a tan brown kind of liquid. Not the color of honey, but more of the consistency of like olive
Tar?
oil. It's a little It's a little viscous. Looks like it'll flow out quicker than honey would, but it's the same color as honey. Now, for as is with our family's traditions, we always bless the area with a bit of rosemary oil here that we have. We just bless the area to, good feasting and good travels for everyone when everybody heads back. It's one of those things your family always does.
The sacrament.
Yes, exactly.
I can understand.
Finally, he goes over to Reggie. Now you're gonna have probably the most important job, and you're gonna be coming with me. And he produces a box and tells Reggie not to open it yet. So Reggie tucks the box away in his pocket. We're gonna go get the centerpiece for our feast here. It's in the house, and I just need your help carrying it down. And Reggie kind of like looks at him like everyone else is actually doing something, and I'm just manual labor. But all right.
Confidence.
But all right, if everybody's got the tasks now, so now's the time we'll take to. So everyone bends down, and as he kind of dismisses you, kind of points you in the directions, and I'll tell you guys where you're going in just a second. He points you guys in the directions that you're going to go. We'll start with Solace.
Mhm.
So when your axe popped out popped a little note, same as kind of like a little fortune cookie fortune that says kindling warms thankful hearts. Pocket, we did yours. Reggie did not open his yet. Vorxan's, as he pulled out the kind of glass eye looking thing, he reads his fortune aloud. Says, "The gratitude is seen, not just heard." And then he kind of like makes a raspberry noise. Ivy, when yours popped out, yours said, "Blessings and thanks go hand in hand." And Kiki, Brooke, are you there? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure you're still there. When your shovel popped out, gratitude, much like regular hard work, can be just as rewarding. So he points everyone in their directions. So we have kind of like what we see here. You find in your pockets actually as well a small map that a lot of you can follow, but it's basically like this, something like this. Okay. So my very crude drawings. So what I'm gonna have everyone do is everyone roll a d20 real quick.
Nothing added?
No, nothing added.
Ooh, a 1.
Nice.
6.
Cameron, roll yours one more time.
17.
Okay. So you're gonna go before Vorxan. What did Solace pocket?
18.
18. Okay.
14.
And then Reggie's just gonna go last no matter what. So, all
Yeah.
right, this is just our order that we're gonna have everyone do their tasks. All right, so Solace, he points you down a direction, and you kind of wander. There's a lot of trees as you wander down this path. A lot of trees look very samey, and so you're not sure which ones that you're meant to cut down. But you just kind of figure you'll know because I don't know. Have you ever really cut trees before? It's not a
Nope. Solace grew up in a city with no trees, so.
He just kind of figures he'll know. So you walk for a little ways, and you walk for a little ways, and then you find these trees with these really tall trunks, almost not quite like redwoods, but they're really ridiculously tall. They have kind of blue leaves up at the top. You kind of walk up and you put your hand on the trunk, and they just you feel good with these trees. So you whip your axe out. Give me a strength roll. Actually, give me about 3.
Okay. That's going to be 18, 11, and 15.
All right. So the first one, you back up. You give it a really good swing all the way back, kind of like you're pitching. Really good swing right in there, and you feel really confident about the first one. You give another one, and you feel like you didn't go anywhere at all. And the last one, with the third hit, actually, you swing it as hard as you can manage, and the tree starts to buckle and falls back kind of towards where you're standing. So give me an agility or a dexterity roll real quick.
14.
14. Okay. You managed to just barely roll out of the way in time. The tree falls right where you were standing. So you walk back over and you pick the tree up and you pull the box out, and you're not exactly sure how you're going to fit the tree in the tiny box. And as you flip the lid open,
I pick the tree up.
They're tall. You find that they're not as heavy as you think. So, but you're just trying to figure out how you're going to cram it in there. So you pick up what's fallen of the tree, kind of lift it up, and as you flick open the box to try to figure out how you're going to get in there, it actually just sucks it right in. So,
okay.
Yeah, you're a little surprised. So give me another 6 of those strength rolls.
Jesus.
We'll pretend you learned after the first time, and you can skip the dexterities.
Okay. These are not so good. 5, 9, 4, 17, 14, and 13.
Okay. You struggle a little bit with the next couple of trees, but you manage to gather what you feel like is a lot, and you turn back around and find that the trees have actually already regrown. They're giant, not very thick things, but the ones that you've cut down behind you, about 6, they're about half the height as the rest of the trees, but they still have regrown pretty quick. Same blue leaves, same bark. The bark looks a little bit different. You're a little shocked. So you close your box and you head back. You're pretty good on the firewood, you feel like. So next up, Pocket. I'm really excited about this one. This one's gonna be really great. So you kind of meander down this path. This one up here toward. Clicked my mic off. Sweet. Head down this path towards our really nice turkey drawing we've got over there. I'm pretty proud of that turkey. You walk down this path. You've never really hunted turkeys before. You assume that he meant a bird because you've never really heard the word turkey before. So you're kind of wandering, and the kind of like I said, everyone has like a little mini map, piece of paper they found in their pockets after he kind of pointed everyone in the direction. So you kind of go to the spot that he gestured down, trying to find something that looks vaguely like the shape that he drew. Then give me a perception check.
All right. That is a 15.
15. Okay, I'm gonna spoilers a little bit from the DM side. Just you didn't roll 1, so as you're wandering, you kind of hear the bushes rustle around you a little bit, and you just see this blur take off straight down this path it winds a little bit, but you see it just take off. So do you want to follow it?
Yes, I chase after.
So you chase after. You find that
a turkey.
You find that after you don the boots, your steps are almost like you're pushing yourself off the ground and you're leaping, but that's just an individual step. You feel like you're not putting any effort into it at all. So you find that you're keeping pace just barely behind this turkey. So I want you to. Do you want to use your throwing axes, your mace, or do you just want to grab it? How do you want to?
Oh man, I just want to grab it.
Grab it. All right. So you dive for this turkey. Give me a strength roll. No.
Ooh, that's a natural 19.
Natural 19.
So I don't
So,
really want to add anything.
You lunge forward and you tackle and you kind of roll with this turkey in your arms and you kind of tumble forward a little bit and you sit upright and the turkey you're kind of hugging it as tight as you can and it's kind of kicking around and moving a little bit, but it
Gotcha.
realizes it's been defeated and goes up in smoke. And you see 3 more of them kind of run around in the bushes. Do you want to pick one? One of them is headed straight down the path again. And then you saw one dive either left or right into the. It's kind of a little bit thick. It's not super thick, so you think you could run through it. But all right, so you take off for the left turkey. You're kind of fighting the brush a little bit. Go ahead and give me another perception check.
All right. 19.
19. Not. Oh my gosh, you're like on fire with these rolls. Gonna ruin this whole part, but fine. So you
I'm
as you're kind of like moving. No, it's okay. As you're kind of moving limbs aside and kind of pushing through a little bit, you feel like you're in a tight space for yourself. Bit of a tight space for yourself, but you're kind of pushing through as best as you can. And then you see hiding in a little brush thicket, almost kind of like it's cornered itself off. There's really no other way it can run because the opening is where you were looking at it from. So there's an opening in the brush, and everything else is either trees or really thick bushes. So what do you want to do this time?
I like, but not really snake, and just be like, here, turkey, turkey, turkey.
So you're like crouched, walk forward.
Turkey, turkey, turkey.
You kind of see a
and
concern.
then I pounce on it.
You see a look of concern on its face. Give me for that one. Give me an athletics roll.
Athletics. Okay. That's
Comes that.
What is it?
Oh no.
15.
What was it, Meredith?
15. 15.
15. Okay, cool. So, as you lunge forward, you see the turkey kind of running underneath you. As you're kind of lunging forward, it starts to run underneath you, and then you like just stop lunging and kind of drop yourself straight on top of the turkey. And you actually end up crushing it a little bit, so it finds itself paralyzed. So you kind of pick the turkey up by his legs, kind of like cradling him like a little child, sort of. Do you want to head back with this one, or do you want to keep looking?
I mean,
it's a good size.
Why stop with one?
for you, it's kind of like if your character was holding a football. That's how big this turkey is. So, kind of like for your hands, for your size, it's a really good size turkey for a normal an individual normally. So you want to keep going?
I'm gonna try to get 2 turkeys.
2 turkeys, nice. All right, so
Yeah.
you walk back through the thicket back to the pathway. Go ahead and make me another perception check.
That's natural 20.
A natural 20.
What is with you?
Yeah.
It's only,
I don't
but it's
know.
only for looking. So you look around, you see a rustling in front of the bush. So you just came back, so you're facing the opposite side where you saw a turkey dash off earlier. You see a rustling in it, but you don't feel like that's a winner, and you're worried that one might disappear on you. So you see one down to your left, the one that originally ran down the path, and so you go after that turkey. Do you want to tackle this one again, or do you just want to?
Yeah.
I want to go after this one. All right. So you take off again. You're just leaps and bounds down the path, chasing this turkey. And again, your boots make you feel like you're just like halfway flying. Each leap sending you yards easily. So eventually you catch up to this turkey, and you're gonna lunge forward again.
Yes, but like with my one arm, while I have the other turkey underneath my other one.
Okay, so you kind of have a turkey underneath one of your arms, and you lunge forward to kind of like do like a smacking, swiping thing with it, and you actually snatch the turkey right up, right by the neck, and then you kind of look at it, feeling if that was a little bit too easy because you had the first one in your hands, and the turkey looks at you. You see the turkey look you in the eyes, and then it looks at the other turkey that you have, and you feel it kind of go limp a little bit in your arms. Hey, Johnson here.
Okay, wait,
So,
what?
So you feel the second turkey as if it's giving up. It sees that you captured its friend. As you look back, you see that the third turkey that had run off to the side is actually kind of shimmering a little bit, almost as if it's just an image that's there, not an actual turkey. So the turkey that you captured with your one hand sees that you had captured its friend, kind of gives up a little bit, and so you kind of
Oh,
feel
that's
you
depressing.
feel a little bad. You feel a little bad, but you know that was your task, and you kind of cuddle the turkeys a little bit, and the one that you knocked out by landing on it kind of comes back too, and they're just kind of like resting in your arms now. So you're kind of like just kind of carrying two birds like this,
Oh,
which again for someone really big is kind of a lot of turkey. And then with that, your two turkeys in either arm, you head back down the path, and you actually find that because you're just kind of walking, keeping a normal pace, that you had gone a lot further than you realized that you had gone, and you find yourself way far down. So at a walking pace, it takes you kind of about another 45 minutes, where you feel like you ran it in 10. So, all right, next up we have Ivy. Are you ready? So, as you can see, kind of like with our really rough demonstration here, this is the area, the backyard, with the blue being the mansion. That's about the backyard. And of course, it's not exactly the scale. So,
Yeah. I figured that was the table.
which character I forget? This is gonna be Ivy
Blue,
now.
yellow. The blue, red.
Blue red. Okay.
Michael,
Well,
you
this is
using
Ivy,
my
so-
laptop for your second screen?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So Cameron starts back by the house. Go ahead and give me a religion check, Cameron.
I never get to make these. That's why. 10.
Oh my god. All right. Well, you kind of hold up, you pull out one of the vials and kind of swish it around a little bit. You actually spill a little bit out on your hand, and you feel it kind of dribbling down your hand after you spilled it out, and your hand starts to tingle a little bit, and so you feel like you shouldn't
Like
get it on
a
yourself.
good tingle? No, not like a that shouldn't tingle like that kind of.
Just like as if it's numbed your hand a little bit. So you kind of pass the vial to your other hand and kind of clench your hand a little bit and find that you don't feel much with it right now. So you kind of take this this rosemary oil and you start to dribble it, and you kind of are saying blessings underneath your breath a little bit as you're going. And go ahead and give me. I hate you. So you go around the fire pits. So you're gonna be going out here and then all the way around the rest of the way of the property. So go ahead and give me 6 more. 7, sorry.
Religion?
Yes.
That's a 6. 4.
Cameron, it's not golf.
That's a 17.
Here we go.
Use a different set of dice.
For real.
Hey, Michael. Also, I have a book with me if you desperately need a ruling on anything.
Oh my god. Cameron, did you roll a 1?
No, I rolled a 3 plus 2. That's a 5.
Okay.
15. Then 11.
All right. So what was your lowest for those? Was that 7?
I
That
don't know.
was 5.
Counting.
Go ahead and give me 2 more. I think I'm saying that was 5.
10.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure your lowest was a 5 through
This
all
was
of
a
that.
5.
So as you kind of venture around, you dribbling the oil, and you find as you get towards the as you're getting back on the other side of the house over that way, as you're getting back to just about where you started, that you didn't have quite enough oil. So you kind of take the vials and you shake them a little bit and you smack on them. Try to get as much oil as you can out to try to cover the last
Do
couple
everything
feet
short of
that-
running my finger around it. Is the old man around?
He's not. He's disappeared inside with Reggie.
Does my box have more cord I can pull to get more vials?
No, there's not. So you kind of shake out the rest and sprinkle it a little bit, and you find that there's maybe a foot that you didn't cover properly, but everything else you got covered pretty perfectly, and you feel like you're gonna call it good because
Okay.
you're out of oil, so it doesn't matter what you want to do.
Did my best.
Next up is Vorxan's. So I get to do this one. Ha ha ha. So Vorxan sets out down the path with the finding the little piece of paper where he's going. Actually, I'm gonna bring Cameron back here. So Vorxan takes off down this path. As he's going, he's kind of walking along, kicking stones and stuff out of the pathway, kind of trudging his feet and dilly dallying, to be honest. He ventures for a little while. Hears some really loud thunderous claps off in the distance. He hears some a different sounding crash, as if it's a large tumbling body, maybe. Concerned, but not super concerned. He just keeps walking. Realizing that he's passed a lot of different berry bushes, but hasn't actually been looking at them. He pulls out the little glass eye, and he kind of like holds it up to the forest and kind of looks down it with both of his eyes, not super focused on it. And he
Fancy?
doesn't want to be fancy. Not weird as monocle at all. So he rifling through these berry bushes, not really finding anything that he feels like is the berry bushes that he's searching for. He also finds in his pocket as well, where the piece of paper was, a drawing of what the berry that he's looking for. And he holds up the drawing, and then he holds up the lens to the drawing. And the lens, instead of having this gradient of blue and then back to clear glass, goes completely blue without the alternating parts of the glass. And then the outside ring of the little monocle begins to glow. So he holds it up and looks straight down the path and kind of moves it to the left and the right, kind of looking at either side of the path. And he actually sees down either way a couple of lights emanating from inside the bushes, and he lowers the lens and the lights are not there. So he figures that that's where he's going. So he kind of ventures down the path, and he, oh my God, is just super fucking average is what he is. So he finds his way to these lights, and so he lowers the lens and sticks it back in his pocket, and he sees nothing in front of him. And he pulls the lens back out, really confused, and then he sees the bush again. Does this a couple times, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. So then he uses one hand to hold the lens, and then the other hand to try to find these berries. And as he's putting his hand towards this, what looks like there's an empty space, finds, relief, and he finds a bush. And so he kind of is rifling around in this bush. He pulls out a couple berries and dumps them into the little wooden box. And then the light from the lens kind of dims. And as the light dims from the lens goes back to the alternating clear and blue glass. And the bush is gone. A little confused. Vorxan, what's he going to do? Going to look again. Good. He's going to do a good look this time, guys. So he turns around.
The best look.
Turns around and looks behind him towards where he had seen one of the other lights. Pulls out the drawing of the berry again, holds it in front of the lens. The lens again goes solid blue. The outer ring of the lens glows. Sees the light off in the distance. So he heads there and does this a few more times as he throws the dice on the table. Oh my God, Vorxan, can you fucking? Okay. So the second bush, he only gets one or two berries from. The first bush he got a few. He got about 5. The second bush he only gets a few berries from. Legit a couple, 2. Exactly. So hoping he finds a better harvest, he heads to the last light that he saw. Heads back to the path. Does the same thing. Holds the picture in front of the lens, and heads down to this last bush, and rolls a natural 1. Vorxan, can you put it together a little bit? So Vorxan, taking another half hour to mosey his way on to the last bush patch, finally finds himself there, and holds up the lens to the bush and finds that this time the bush is just absolutely loaded with berries. And as he goes to pick them, the berries seem to grow back almost instantaneously. So he just continues to harvest and realizes that he's seen the sun move in the sky. Wonders how long he's been out here picking berries, and the berries just seem to keep growing back. So he fills the box what he feels like is full, but let's be real, he's a little lazy. So calls it quits a little bit early and heads back down the path. So we'll pick up our last thing. Kiki, with your shovel.
Yes. I'm thinking about potatoes.
So thinking about potatoes, all right. So as you head down the path, your path, down this way, you head down the path and you see, kind of the same forest, and then you see your landscape change a little bit. It goes into more of like a grassland prairie looking situation. And you're kind of wondering, as you're familiar with nature, how you're going to find potatoes out here in the grassland. They're usually more of like a low forest shrub kind of thing. And so, feeling a little doubtful, you kind of hold your shovel up straight in front of you, kind of like a divining rod, and go ahead and give me just a d20 roll.
Right. 15.
15. So, you feel yourself actually kind of inspired by the nature around you, and the shovel turns its metallic gray self, starts to actually kind of resonate with the blue energy, and the whole shovel goes from a metallic gray to a metallic blue kind of color. And as you hold it straight forward, so you turn it left and right a little bit, and you notice the blue shift to either side of the shovel. So as you turn left, it shifts back to the right side, pointing kind of straight down the path still. You go back to the center, the whole shovel is blue, and you turn it right to your right, and the left side of the shovel is blue. So you kind of get a feel for how you're supposed to use a shovel. So you hold the shovel straight out in front of you, and you walk down the path for a little while. And then you notice the color of the shovel is fading, so the whole shovel's gone gray again. So give me another roll.
That's a 16.
So you kind of shake the shovel a little bit, kind of confused as to what's going on. You smack it on the ground, and the shovel turns bright red. Not hot, but it's just like this kind of fire engine red color. And you, kind of curious, kind of concerned, stick it straight into the ground, and then the shovel kind of does this undulating red and blue situation. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna dig there.
You gonna dig there? All right, go ahead. Give me a couple of strength rolls.
Strength, shoot. Okay. A 3.
3, okay.
And a 14.
So the first time you stick the shovel in the ground after you pull it out after you were concerned, you stick the shovel in the ground again and find the shovel doesn't really go anywhere. You stick it in the ground, it's almost as if you stuck it into like a clay block or something that's just kind of sucking it in a little bit. You
Texas.
hit there? Yeah, basically. So you stick it in and it doesn't really go anywhere. You kind of wiggle it. The shovel doesn't move. You finally manage to pull the shovel back out, and then with all your might, you shove it as far as you can into the ground, and the shovel disappears up to the handle into the soil beneath you. You kind of lean back into the soil, and it's almost as if the ground apparates a little bit, and the shovel goes straight through it as if it's coming back up through sand. You have to work through it a little bit, but it just comes right back up, and the shovel head is just covered in these little blue round things. And go ahead and give me a nature check with advantage.
Okay. That is a 17.
17? Nice. So you feel the shovel telling you this is kind of exactly what you're looking for. You kind of hold one up and you turn it around a little bit. You feel that it's really firm, and it has this really good smelling floral aroma to it. And as you kind of squeeze it, you get the idea. You kind of try to break it a little bit, because it's not like a perfectly round, this one you picked up. Most of them are perfectly round little blue spheres. But the one you picked up is a little oblong, so you kind of use that oblong to it to break it in half, and it's got this bright purple colored inside, and you've never seen a potato like this before, but you figure these are the potatoes he's looking for. So you take the shovel head and you kind of dump the potatoes into the wooden box, and you kind of try to stick the shovel in the ground, trying to find that spot again where it went straight in. You can't seem to find it, so you figure that's kind of it. That's kind of spent. So you hold the shovel back out. Give me another d20 roll.
7.
7. So the shovel this time glows not glows. It turns itself to a really deep indigo blue, but it's really hard to tell from the gray. So you walk down the pathways a little ways, and you don't see the blue move again. You walk down a little bit further, still doesn't change, and you walk down even more, and the shovel goes back to gray. So give me another d20 roll.
Another 7.
Oh my God. Rinse and repeat that. You walk for a little ways. The shovel color doesn't change at all. One more.
Oh, another? Okay.
Yes.
19.
19. Awesome. So, as you kind of you're feeling a little fatigued, like you want to go back, but you feel like you didn't get nearly enough. The shovel turns this really beautiful color blue, almost like the same color as the potatoes. And so the shovel turns this whole color blue, and You do the same things before, where you kind of turn to find exactly where they're at, and they're just off the path to your right. So you turn to your right, and you start walking forward a little bit until the shovel does again the bright red thing, and you stick it into the ground a couple times, trying to find that relief place. Go ahead and give me 2 strength checks.
7
7.
and a 17.
7 and 17. Nice.
Sevens.
Once again, so you you're sticking the shovel in the ground, trying to find that good place. You find one where it goes in a little ways, but it just covers the head of the shovel. So you feel like that's not right. So you pull the shovel back out, move it around a little bit, and shove it in as hard as you can. And again, it goes down halfway through the handle. So there's just the little holding part on the end and half of the shaft of the shovel. And again, you lean into it, kind of slowly bring it up, and it's like you're scooping it out of sand, and you have this big pile of blue potatoes again that you very gingerly kind of roll all of them into your box, and you kind of feel like that's good, like you've gathered a lot of your potatoes. And so with your shovel over your shoulder and the box back in your pocket, you head back. So let's see, I wrote down who. So Solace, Pocket, and Ivy. Well, Ivy was already there, but Solace, Pocket, find yourselves back towards the back to this area.
I got the turkeys.
Yeah. So Pocket, you bring the turkeys over here. I think this one was Pocket. So Pocket's gonna bring the turkeys over here, set them down onto the grills. Ivy finished out, was just kind of standing around.
Could I have like rinsed out the vials?
You didn't find any faucets or anything where water is going to come out. So you looked around for a little bit, but you still have just the vials on the. You put them back in their holders on the metal rod that you pulled out of the box. Vorxan's going to show up in a bit. This is Reggie and the old man. Solace, you come out of the woods with your box full of wood that you actually you're going to head over here. And you have the wood over here with the turkeys. Just kind of split it. You kind of empty it out onto the ground because you're not really sure what the old man wants you to do with it. So you kind of just dump a lot of it out on the ground in a pretty organized pile. You kind of like smack on the back of the box, and the logs just start sliding out. They aren't quite as long as you remember them when you.
How convenient.
Yeah, so they aren't quite as long as you remember them being when you cut them down. And you kind of like lay down on the ground trying to size up how tall you thought they were when you had cut them down, and you're a little confused, but you get back up. Just chalk it up to the trees in the forest look really big, and you walk back to the front side of the table with. Oh, I was gonna throw these, but I don't want to throw them. With Pocket. Pocket had set the turkeys down. The turkeys, you find that they're not dead. You didn't kill them, but they're kind of limp. They don't really seem to apt to run away. They're still looking around and blinking, but they're not really doing anything much. So you set them down in front of the fire pits, and they're more than apt to just sit there. Ivy's hanging out. Vorxan and actually Kiki shows up first with a her box full of potatoes that she walks to the. Oh, that's so close. She walks to the table and kind of dumps out a lot of her potatoes on the table. They kind of just roll out halfway across the table, just potatoes.
Those are some weird
All over the
potatoes. Oh wait, those aren't weird potatoes. They're regular potatoes. Wait, what do they look like?
They were
Wait, we
blue
got
and
blue
then
potatoes?
purple.
Yeah, those are regular
There are
potatoes.
purple potatoes. That's fine.
They're they are purple potatoes.
Purple potatoes?
Vorxan kind of finally shows up, and he dumps his berries out on the. Well, he sits on the table apparently. He dumps the berries out on the other half of the table, and you see out come Reggie and the old man, and Reggie is holding, as the old man is on his little kind of nimbus cloud floating with his cane in his hand. The Reggie holding what looks like a really large, long woven basket. And as he and the old man walk forward, they walk to the table. I don't know why I keep sitting down. I'm just gonna stand at this point. They walk over to the table. Reggie sets the long woven basket down in between where the berries and the potatoes are. You guys kind of wonder how the old man, the sun's a little ways through the sky. You reckon it's a little past midday. So you're kind of confused as to how this old man is going to cook a whole meal. Because he had mentioned a little bit that he was making this feast, but he didn't really mention when. And he invited you guys to join him, so you all just kind of figured it was going to be later today.
Hey,
A little confused as to how he's going to make the meal. Yeah?
Could I Arcana, or like, can I roll like some kind of check, an insight and Arcana to try and figure out, just kind of try and surmise how he's gonna do?
Yeah, go for it.
Magic.
No magic, but I'm like, kind. So what kind of roll was this?
And you want to make an Arcana roll? So-
13.
13. You look at the spread on the table and you kind of close your eyes and feel the presence of a little bit of the presence of the magic around you. You don't feel anything too out of place. It feels like anywhere else you've been as far as the fabric of the magic goes.
So
So
it's magical, but it's not like a super kind of magic. Yeah, this is pretty standard fare for what I've seen so far.
yes. So as Reggie places the basket down, the old man kind of motions everyone to gather on the table. So Kiki and Vorxan on this side of the table where you had splayed all your stuff out, and everyone else on this side. The old man kind of very, very carefully and gradually gets himself off of his cloud and walks up to the table and smacks his cane on the table a couple times. Go ahead and give me, because this is kind of like arbitrary. Actually, just everyone give me a perception check.
Mm.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Boom.
I got a 10.
I got a 16.
Pocket
16.
got a 7.
Pocket got a 7. Vorxan got a 9. Vorxan, stop rolling 9s. Good job. I guess I can let. I won't have Reggie roll 1 because everyone who rolled higher than a 5, which I'm pretty sure is everybody, notices that Reggie now has a ring on. It's a really beautifully ornate ring. The metal on it is really black metal, and almost as if you can't see light reflect off of it, even though you know that it's metal, because what else do you make rings out of? Other than
He and the old man got married while we were gone.
Bone. You can make rings out of bone.
it's. I mean, I guess you can
Reggie
make
has
out of bone,
commitment issues.
If you
Yeah.
really try, you can make a ring out of mud.
but Cameron, I'm gonna put a ring of mud up your butt. So, you see that he's wearing this black ring. The metal on it is, like I said, it doesn't reflect any light, and it has this really large jet black stone that, again, no matter how light hits it, you kind of see him move his hand around as he's setting this large woven basket on the table. That as he's moving around, no light reflects off of it, no matter where you're looking from, even though there's not a cloud in the sky and the sun should be reflecting off of it. You don't see a single reflection off the ring.
Cool ring, Reggie. Did that make your hands like go faster when weaving that basket or something?
We didn't weave it. He just had me carry it from his attic.
Oh,
He looks really upset and disgusted that seeing the spread on the table and seeing the turkeys and the wood over, that he just carried this basket down from the attic. So he
the
feels
baskets weigh like nothing.
Oh, what
yeah,
do you
feels
mean?
a little
Reggie?
betrayed that he kind of got the shit end of the stick as far as tasks go, but kind of chalks it up to shitty luck. So the old man, like I said,
All
he
I
steps off
had
his
to
cloud and he walks up and he taps the woven basket, and you kind of see the woven basket after he taps it wiggle as if it's still being smacked with a wooden cane, kind of wiggling around, squishing itself up and down as if it's being smacked with a cane, and you see it kind of glow a blue kind of color. And then suddenly all the berries that are on one side of it and the potatoes that are on the other side just get sucked in to the cornucopia. And the mouth of the basket closes a little bit and then opens back up, and out comes a couple of very well prepared dishes, and it's as if it's shooting the dishes out.
Oh,
And
wow.
Reggie kind of scoffs. Wow, old man, I didn't all the way believe you. The old man kind of chuckles to himself. Reggie, seeing everyone else looking really confused as to what happened, kind of points to the old man. Yeah, he was telling me I thought it was just a basket, but turns out it's an enchanted item called a and he's kind of like struggling with the words, and the old man laughs to himself. It's a cornucopia. Cornucopia. Says it a couple more times to emphasize how dumb Reggie should feel for not remembering how to say it. So
Yeah.
he has Reggie pick up the cornucopia, and they walk over here to the firewood, and everyone kind of follows suit to the firewood and the turkeys. And again, the old man smacks it with his cane and sucks up all the firewood and spits out red hot coals and sucks up the turkeys and then spits back out very, very well defeathered, harvested, and you even see a little bit of seasoning on the actual bodies of the turkeys themselves. And this last fireplace is left open because there was a third turkey that Meredith didn't find. Don't tell her that.
Well.
So the two turkeys that are there are being kind of roasted over this fire, and then the old man walks up to him again, smacks us with his cane, and smacks it one more time, smacks it a couple times, and then smacks it a third time really hard, and a kind of metal shell comes over this one, does the same thing over here, metal shell over the top as the turkeys are roasting. Now's the part that my youngins always hated. And he kind of motions everyone to look at the table, and he brings Reggie back over here. And he kind of smacks the corner of the table, and you guys see roll out as he smacks the table. You think that he's gonna he smacks it from the bottom, and you think that he's gonna knock the table over, but it's almost as if he's knocking kind of a cover off of part of the table, and part of this end of the table flies to the underside of the table, like as if it's wrapping around, flies off and then back under, and you see silverware and napkins laid out in front of you, as well as plates a little bit down the ways. Setting table. So the old man kind of like leans forward a little bit, and he grabs 3 plates, and with his cloud, he kind of starts floating down. Does anyone want to help set the table?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you would like to help set the table, which Vorxan is going to grudgingly do as well, go ahead and give me a D8 roll. D8. Yep. 8.
Which one's
I'm
that?
having a
Or
roll to set a table. It's going to be interesting.
That's the pyramid.
Yeah, like the
So Cam.
How many's on here? That's not
roll the
8.
foe.
Okay, Cameron got a 4.
I got a 3.
3. Whatever Kiki and Vorxan are doing, they're doing the same thing.
Pocket got a 5.
Pog got a 5. Sauce, are you helping set the table or not?
No, he has no idea. He's just gonna stand there real awkwardly.
Okay. No, feel free to stand there. So everyone else kind of, I guess I should roll for Reggie too. Fine. Reggie, can you not roll once, please?
Reggie
So,
can't help it. He sucks.
He really does. So, Cameron walks forward, and he very carefully picks up a few pieces of silverware, both spoons.
Who's Cameron?
Sorry, fuck. Ivy walks forward, picks up a couple of spoons, couple of knives, couple of forks, and sets them on a plate. Picks up a few more plates and puts a couple napkins on top, and walks down. I think this one was Ivy. Walks down and starts setting this side of the table. Vorxan and Kiki, not sure what they're doing exactly. Grab each.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
If you look in the journal, the black journal, on the first cover of the page, it tells you which
I know.
colors correspond to which people. Okay.
I tried to match it up, but I'm not sure what stone blue is.
It's the gray one with blue numbers.
Oh, okay. So that one. That's the white one. Anyway, whatever. So Kiki and Vorxan, before heading down the table, they are very unsure of what they're doing. They each Vorxan grabs nothing but spoons, and Kiki grabs nothing but knives. They both kind of follow suit of Ivy setting it on a plate and grabbing a couple napkins, and are very hesitantly walking down the way, setting plates down where they imagine chairs would be. They're not quite sure. Ivy is very sure of herself, setting the table down. Plates, fork and spoon on the right side, and then the knife on the left. Very organized with the napkin underneath the plate. This beautiful ornate setup. Vorxan and Kiki trying to mimic that.
I don't
realizing
know
they
if
didn't
this
grab the
is-
right silverware.
I don't know if this is actually how elves set up their tables. Elves are different, but I'll do this.
That's because you rolled a 4, Cameron. You're right.
Hey,
Just have
awesome!
more leaves.
So, the old man kind of sets his plates down and then moves down to the end of the table. Have you youngins never set a table before?
No.
Nope, that's why I'm over here.
Vorxan scoffs, and trying to make himself seem a little superior. At least not an elven table. The old man laughs to himself and gestures to in front of him where he has the plate, the napkin, and then all the silverware on top of the napkin. Very organized, very neat and organized in its one space. So everyone kind of mimics that, going down, and they set 16 places on the table, as kind of the old man points to where the places should go. And as everyone sets up all the plates of silverware that they have, they return back to the center of the table. And once again, the old man smacks the table as hard as he can with his cane, and you see kind of underneath the table shutter a little bit, and it's as if a little a wooden bench sticks out from underneath. So it's like this is now a giant long picnic bench. Since we are here, so it's basically seating here and here. Give me a perception roll, everybody.
Check out this sick one.
Natural 20.
That's 20.
11.
18.
7. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I think everyone again rolled enough. So you all kind of noticed that you've seen tables like these before at the right area when you have the mess hall there. That they always have a head of the table. There's always chairs on either end of the table as well. Whereas this table, it's just the benches along either side, and there's no head to it. Vorxan and Reggie, kind of confused, walk forward a little bit. So how come there's no head to this table? The old man, again, not understanding how people don't know this, as if it's common knowledge to everybody. Well, it's the elf culture. There's never the head of the table. Everyone is equal here, because we're all a part of the same family anyway, as it were. And Reggie, a little confused, but we're not part of your family. Well, I'm counting you for the day, because you all helped me out pretty well. Oh, look at that! The turkey's almost ready. So turns around and kind of motions everybody back. The cornucopia, by the way, he had Reggie set on. The cornucopia is at the head of the table, right here. So we're gonna use this one right there. So that's where the cornucopia sat. All right, grab this. And oh, by the way, this is Reggie speaking. Did anybody else get a weird piece of paper when they pulled their item out of their box? Because I got this weird ring, and I don't know what it does. It's pretty neat, but I got a piece of paper. Did anyone else get
You
that?
got a ring?
Yeah, that's what my box
Oh.
had.
Yeah, I got a piece of paper.
Well,
I got a piece of paper too.
and he kind of looks at the ring. My paper said gratitude can never be truly destroyed. What does that mean? You guys kind of hear the old man chuckle in the end. You know, those family boxes have all kinds of weird stuff in them. Vorxan a little confused as to how the old man could just kind of pass off something like that, as everyone's was very personalized to their task that they were doing. A little confused, as I imagine some of you guys are as well. But being that the turkeys are ready,
Mine's also related to gratefulness, so
yeah, see, I didn't know. Vorxan speaks up as well.
Mine
Yeah,
is
like
blessing and thanks.
yeah, same as mine. Mine was that dumb gratitude garbage or whatever. So seen or not heard or dealt it or whatever mine was, I forgot.
That those who thanked it dealt it.
I think that's whoever smelt it dealt it. I don't know what that has to do with things.
yeah, it was something like that. I don't. And he blows a couple more raspberries and folds his arm
In
kind
sequence,
of
just
angrily.
blows a couple raspberries in sequence. Pause. Pause. Pause.
Yeah, no, pretty much exactly like that. It's as if he's ruminating on it, and every time he thinks about it a little bit more in depth, and the feeling of gratitude and the idea of thanks, he's just kind of scoffing and can't believe that people feel that way.
Wait, is this Vorxan?
Yeah, this is Vorxan, by the way.
Does his tongue the little lizard flick thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, as the tongue comes out and he blows a raspberry. But it's not forked. It's very humanoid as far as tongue.
No, but does it still flick like a lizard tongue, like really fast?
Well, I mean, it's like as if you're blowing a raspberry, and it
I
sounds.
don't think dragon tongues flick.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's less of a flicking and more of like if you're just blowing a raspberry, and his is a little more hissy because he has the scales on his skin instead of.
I was
actual
thinking of
skin.
like a hissing tongue, like a snake tongue. Like
No, it's not like slurping. It's like a very airy raspberry. Anyway,
okay.
so the old man walks forward and
I'm
he
sorry, guy.
he taps the either edge of the now the metal spheres, and the tops recede back onto the underside, and you see a very gorgeous golden brown turkey on this fire, and you notice the fire as well as a very warm yellowy red color instead of the normal like bright red intense fires that you normally see, in and around Vestia. So the old man kind of waves his hand a little bit, and Reggie shrugs his shoulders and goes back and grabs the cornucopia and points it at, as the old man steps back, points it to either turkey, sucks the turkeys in, and he's kind of holding it, and moves back to the table and then shoots them out. And the turkeys are on these elaborate spread plates, very ornately heated ceramic. So it's got paintings and stuff on it. It's got a leafy spread around it as well, and shoots them straight into the centers of the table. So like here and here. So as the entire spread is completed, everyone kind of folds out to either side, and just kind of sat there as the. Oh no, wait! This is the old man. This is Reggie, and he set the cornucopia back down. So everyone's kind of on either side, and the old man's kind of on this side. Reggie kind of concerned. Didn't you say we were doing this for your youngins? And kind of says that he kind of chokes on that word a little bit, not exactly sure what it means. Yeah. My children, they're meant to be here sometime around sunset. I actually didn't figure this would go quite as quick as it did. And he kind of chuckles under his breath to himself. But while you guys are all here, I'd like to make a little toast. Kind of taps on the table again, and everyone kind of notices they suddenly have glasses with half full wine glasses of a kind of like a viscous red liquid. I toast everybody, and the old man snatches one up off the table from one of the empty seats.
Saul's extremely uncomfortable and is not going to drink that.
Okay.
Because I've taken part in ceremonies like this before, and just kind of like, hey, what kind of wine is this? I haven't had a chance for too many.
It's actually a wine out of our one of the other places. I actually brewed this myself. It's an elderberry wine. It's got hints of vanilla in it even. And he kind of like swirls it around in his glass, and he takes a big whiff. I love this wine. And he like puts his whole glass back and sets it on the table, and it kind of immediately fills back up.
Did you just say
So kind of-
elderberry?
Yes.
Are you a Monty Python in here? Is that what
Elderberry
No,
wine.
an elderberry is a thing.
Elderberries are real
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
Fuck. And so anyway, he,
Plant boy knows.
after polishing his glass off, he realizes that he didn't quite finish his toast. Kind of holds his glass up again. I just wanted to thank you youngins for being out here and helping me do all this work. This would have taken me so much more time than I ever thought it could have been done in. So, a toast to all of you youngins. And he kind of motions his glass forward, and he only drinks half of it this time, and he sets it back down on the table.
Huzzah! And I just set mine on the table because I don't drink.
I drink mine, not all of it, but I take a good sip.
I'm not drinking it.
Okay.
I drink all of it immediately.
So,
Yeah.
Cameron and Brooke, give me rolls. Just roll a d20.
What is with this number tonight?
Poison damage.
No. Cameron,
17.
17 for Kiki and Ivy.
8.
8. So
7.
Ivy, you're looking for those hints that he was talking about of vanilla and kind of the intricacies of those flavors in the wine, and you're not really seeing it. It just kind of tastes like grape juice really to you. Kiki, you swirl it around on your tongue, and you're taking a big breath, and you let it air out over your tongue, and you taste these hints of vanilla and some flavors that are very floral that you can't quite place, but you enjoy all of them, and you enjoy the rest of your drink.
Rolls
Did
have
Reggie-
a complex palate.
Did Reggie or Vorxan drink at all?
That's a very good question, Josh. Thank you for asking. They did. Vorxan very hesitantly drank some of his. Reggie put his whole one back as well, trying to be a part of it. Vorxan spits his back out immediately with a natural one. God, what are you guys drinking? This is so sour.
Der Wein ist nicht so gut.
Oh yeah, I guess I
Rude.
should have mentioned you guys that sometimes this elderberry wine they say it's reflective of character or whatever garbage that means. I've been hearing that for hundreds of years, and I don't know what that means.
Well, you'll never know what my character is, then will you?
Apple
Reggie,
juice.
kind of like you see him kind of like thinking about it and mulling it over, and he finishes his first glass, and he kind of notices what the old man did, and he very gingerly sets it back down on the table and like eyes it, and it just very slowly fills back up, and he drinks it again. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this is the most okay thing I think I've ever had in my life. He kind of nods and swirls it around in his glass, and he drinks the rest of it.
The most okay thing.
Can I take another roll? Like, I set my glass back. If I've set my glass back down, has it filled up back again?
Yes, it has.
Can I take
So would
another
you like to
sip?
take another drink? Yes, you can.
Don't be like Vorxan. Nine.
9. So again, you try to swish it around in your mouth, and seeing Kiki. I think Kiki's next to you. Seeing Kiki across from you, take a deep breath in while she was drinking it. Ivy mimics the same, and she takes a deep breath in, and then kind of swirls her tongue around again, and you taste a little bit of something. You're not quite sure if it's vanilla or some warm flavor going on, but not super complex. But you taste it in there and you swallow again. And you're pleasantly surprised by this one that you've had.
It's tasty.
All right, youngins, and he smacks his can on the table, and all the glasses kind of disappear again. Not in quite a puff of smoke, but there's a little bit of a white wisp as they kind of off into the wind as the wind kind of catches it all and carries it all down the table. That's enough of that for now until my youngins get here. But before that, I thought that we'd and he sticks his cane into the ground, have a little fun, and he claps his hands together, and he slams them onto the table. Everybody, give me an initiative roll.
Oh,
What?
Oh, here
we're
it
gonna
goes!
kick the old man's ass.
Am
Aww.
I like cursed?
How come I always roll crappy initiative?
Oh my god.
16.
What is happening? What is happening? There, what? Fuck you.
Okay. 20 to 15. Solace, you said yours was 16.
Yes.
All right, 15 to 10. Well, oh wait, I forgot. Vorxan's gonna go first. Oh, I forgot to roll for Reggie as well. Okay, Reggie's gonna go before you. Sorry, Solace.
No one remembers Reggie.
No one remembers Reggie.
Yo, Reggie's gonna get away with a murder, and people be like, "Who done it?" And no one will look at Reggie because we're all just like, "You're boring."
Okay, 10 to 5.
9.
7.
Um.
I got a
And-
3 in case you're wondering.
I was just gonna chalk you up to last anyway.
Yeah. I rolled a 1.
So, as the old man, now that we have that taken care of, as the old man slams his hands down on the table, you see the cornucopia again, as if it's being smacked with his cane, but you see his cane very clearly in the ground, vacuums up everything onto the table, back into the cornucopia, and again, it's as if it's being smacked by a cane, kind of undulating the mouth of the cornucopia open and close, and then it falls off the table, and everyone's blinded by a really bright flash of light, and then you see at the end of this table, standing a really good 12 feet tall. What looks like what can only be described as a abomination with the body of a really good looking roast turkey.
Oh
A
no!
little red gelatinous looking head. It's got arms made of they look like green beans almost, going down on either side, and then what's holding this whole large turkey that's way times bigger than either of the turkeys that Pocket had gathered. And then holding the whole thing up is a purple mash kind of mound thing at the bottom of this monster. The monster, with a couple of its arms, flips the table, and the table goes absolutely flying. Everyone has obviously jumped off of the...
Basically, the
aside-
table's just gone.
Yeah, the table is way out of here. As are the benches that everyone was standing at. And give me, actually, right before we do the combat parts, go ahead and everyone give me a perception roll quick.
Woo! I hate.
Ooh.
That's
Pocket got a 20?
20?
22. 22.
Okay.
I got a 10.
23.
All right. Well, everybody notices actually that at some point the old man is gone. No one knows where the old man is. Stands only in front of us are our six competitors, shall we say? And
Ain't 5 and
and-
Reggie.
five Reggie and dinner. So Vorxan is up first. Vorxan, a little surprised and taken aback by what he's seen. pulls out both of his daggers, and he just rushes the bird. So each of these squares, by the way, guys, they're hexagons, but because that's this side of the sheet, so they're roughly about 10 feet. So Vorxan no more than, no, sorry, they're 5, so no more than like 15 feet. Vorxan dashes that, pulls out both of his daggers, and since he rushed, 12. Yeah, sorry, don't have any actual music, but you know. Where's my for the monster? Okay, cool. So Vorxan's first hit hits resoundingly. He sinks his knife straight into the roast part of the turkey, and his second one slashes kind of through the mush, not at the bottom of the body, not really doing much. So first dagger hit does 3 whole damage.
Oh yeah.
So next up, that was he's gonna use his bonus action to kind of disengage, do the remaining of his movement, 15 back, and his turn there. So next up, we have God, why is Reggie next? Reggie kind of steps towards the center where the table so recently was. You guys notice that there's no imprints on the ground where a heavy wooden table like was out there. Would have left imprints on the grass, and you find there's no imprints or anything. It's just as if the table had never been there. So Reggie steps into where the table was. He yells out, "What in the fuck is that thing?" With his free action, and then he actually, where's his page? I think this is, yeah, it is. He busts out his bow and shoots an arrow straight down the center, and he does not hit. Arrow goes flying straight over the shoulder, the monster paying it very little to no mind at all.
Sounds about right.
Classic Reggie.
Lumbering. Classic Reggie. So next up, we have Solace. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm just gonna go up. Which dice am I, by the way?
You are the purple one back here.
Oh, well, shit. I can't even get to him.
5, 10, 15.
Hit him with.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, so you can get to right here if you wanted to use your whole movement forward.
Well, that would give me 10 feet, right? So I can still use my weapon.
Well, yeah. Yes, so just
Okay.
barely enough, right about there. Well, right about there. Anyway,
Just
So that-
barely is good enough.
so you're going in with your weapon.
Yep, and that is a 19.
19, you hit.
Beautiful. And, sorry, 1 second. Ooh. Sorry, hold on. I done forgot my own shit. Anyway, okay, that is 9 damage.
9 damage. All right.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to hit him with the other side. No, I'm not, because that's a 2.
Nope, that definitely does not hit.
All right, I'll just sit right here.
Sit right there. All right. Next up, we've got. The bird's turn.
Oh,
So the
no.
monster kind of shudders as it looks as if it's not even comfortable in its own form yet. It kind of shudders a little bit. It'll twist a little bit on its kind of mash where the turkey connects to the potatoes at the bottom. It turns a little bit on either side, trying to figure out, and then it turns not quite all the way facing the right side. So like head on, turns facing right, and then it uses its one of its special abilities. It's called Black Friday, and it's gonna charge. Gonna charge 20 feet, which is his entire movement. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then it's gonna knock Solace. Go ahead and give me a DC, or sorry, go ahead and give me a strength roll.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what an
Okay.
amazing name! If I ever have some kind of
That
cool
is,
battering ram in a story, I'm gonna call it Black Friday.
that's a 20.
That's 20. All right, you it pushes past you, but you stand your ground. You felt the force behind it though, as it smashed into you, and you kind of turned with a little bit to not be knocked back, but you felt the force behind it, and you're kind of a little bit wary and almost a little bit terrified by how much force was behind that, and how much force you had to fight to not go anywhere.
Do I get
You
to
feel
use
the
my
force.
attack of opportunity?
Shush.
It never. Wait. No, because it never left your. Wait, you were. It was right.
No, it's when creatures
Past you.
they provoke an attack of opportunity whenever they get within reach.
It was within reach when you attacked it.
And
Well,
then
I
it
mean,
left.
It has been in that range the whole time, so it
Okay.
never left.
And then it
Okay,
left.
gotcha.
Oh, is it? No,
No,
then it
it's
left.
it's on the other side of her, because like 5-10 feet, it's like right in her range still. So
So it
That's
got
fine.
within
Oh.
her range.
yeah, because it. Well, so you were
'Cause
10
her
feet away
range
from
is
it.
his range is her range is still 10 feet, isn't it?
Yes. So her
Oh,
range is 10
yeah.
feet. She was 10 feet away from it. It ran 10 feet past Solace. So then next up, it's gonna just do a slam. Actually, it's not gonna do anything because it's not really within range of anybody. So it kind of lets out a yell very angrily as it finds that it really hasn't moved anyone or done anything. Ivy, your go.
Okay, so not exactly feeling this, Mr. Crab. I'm gonna take out my shield, one hand. Then I'm going to break away my pendant. Clutch it in my hand as I cast Bless.
Bless. All right. What does Bless do?
3 creatures of my choice within range. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, this lasts for a minute, so basically all of combat. Unless something goes horribly wrong. Oh wait, it's only 30.
You could get Vorxan and Reggie. And I think this one is that Kiki or is that Pocket? I forget.
I
Whoever
think
the
that's
black one is.
Kiki.
So yeah, you could get Pocket Reggie and Vorxan if you wanted.
No, wait. Kiki's white.
Kiki is white. That's you.
Mhm.
That's Pocket.
Okay.
Oh.
The black one.
I'll do.
So Vorxan, Reggie, Pocket. If you wanted, Cameron.
Yeah.
All right. So what do they have?
Okay, so whenever y'all do anything that involves an attack roll or a saving throw,
Mm-hmm.
basically for the rest of combat, roll a d4.
Is that like extra damage?
Yeah, you can any check, any like combat attack or saving throw, basically any combat action.
Okay.
You can roll a d4 and add it.
Okay.
So for a
Cool.
moment, it's basically inspiration.
But we don't have to. We can save it.
Do not have to. You can save it for your turn in combat.
And is it?
Okay.
It's only the one. Like you only get the 1d4.
Only get the one.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Michael.
Good to know.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yes, Josh.
For future reference, so I looked up the whole polearm feature thing. So what it does is it adds 5. So since Solace has a glaive,
Mm-hmm.
it adds and so it has reach. And what reach means is it adds 5 feet to the reach of a general melee weapon. So that means it, with the feature that Solace has, if anything gets within 10 feet of Solace is able to do an attack of opportunity on it.
Right. That I knew.
Okay.
But
Okay. I'm just
Solace
making sure that
attacked it
everybody knows.
immediately, so that's what we were kind of confused on. Is it never left
Yeah.
Solace's range? It was within 10 feet, and it moved 20 feet, like basically straight through Solace, and Solace didn't move, so it never left the 10-foot range. That's what we were.
But did it ever enter the 10-foot range?
It,
No, because
always-
she entered his range.
Yeah,
Okay.
she had.
Cool.
Anyway, Solace attacked it. So anyway, Ivy, is that the end of your turn? You blessed. Did you want to move at all?
I don't have anything that I can use as a bonus action, but I will.
Actually,
Can I make a perception check around me to see if there's anything magically linking him here, or something that I can attack that's possibly tell them to attack that's not this thing might help.
go ahead and roll a. I will give you your choice of an Arcana or a Religion check.
I'll do religion. Come on, give me
Religion?
good.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled above a 10. That's 16.
16. You feel you kind of like quiet yourself and remove yourself from the noise of battle for a moment, and you feel around yourself and you feel in the immediate area there's Obviously the presence of your friends and the presence of
The
the
magic.
monster, but you also feel another emanating presence somewhere in the area, as if it's like lying down on the ground somewhere. You don't feel anything specific from it, just like a strong positive energy coming from it.
Can I nail down where it's coming from?
You can't, just that it's somewhere in front of you, so like in front of you this way.
Over near the braziers? Not the braziers, the
Not-
cookers?
Not necessarily, but yes, in that direction. So like
East.
yeah, just like east and south of you, so somewhere in this cone.
Okay.
You feel the energy. As soon as you open your eyes, you kind of lose sight of the energy, and you can't really feel it as much anymore.
Yeah, I
you're
yell
back
out,
kind of in the
there's
heat of
something
battle."
there's someone to the east.
All right,
And that's me.
Next,
Yes, the monster is.
next up, we have Kiki. If Ivy is done with her turn,
I'm done. You good?
Kiki, what you got?
I'm gonna back up 25 feet.
20
Yep.
straight, like that.
Yes, perfect. Hunter's mark, bonus action.
All
And
right.
I'm gonna shoot him with an arrow.
All right.
Here
well,
comes the dunk.
yeah, go ahead and roll for that, and I'm gonna try to find my stupid little. Right. Oh, there it is.
Oh, by the way, totally out of character. I forgot to pun, but I can't pun in character. But we're about to serve dinner.
Ah.
I don't get it.
Just gonna say you could have done that. In
Yeah,
character,
dinner's
and I
dinner's
would've-
gonna
Dinner is being served.
Yeah,
there you
that's-
go. There you
yeah, that
go.
one.
Thank you, Emerald.
Oh,
Anyway,
so
it
you're,
depend on
you're
someone
dance
for
battling
puns.
against a turkey, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
I got a 20, not natural, but 20.
All right, 20. That definitely hits.
Mine, sure, and I get +8 to it. It still scares me how you can build an archer.
13.
13.
Mhm.
Wow.
No.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Now I want to
Next up, we've got Pocket.
Wait, did a bonus action. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Answering Reggie's question, I wanted to be like, it's dinner time. And I like parade. Answering Reggie's question, what is that? It's dinner. Yeah, I had to say it's dinner.
Yep.
Okay, anyway. And then I run towards it. Go bite out of its green bean arm.
Okay. Do
That's,
you want
that's my attack.
That's your attack. All right. Go ahead. Roll a d20 for me. I'll give you. Go ahead and roll a d20 with advantage.
All right. Is that strength or just?
Just roll a
D20.
d20.
I mean,
Oh no, you cut out. What was the number?
15.
15. Okay. So that misses. So what's gonna happen is you lunge forward and you bite into the green bean on one of its arms. You bite into it
Do I
and you
have
take
a
a
proficiency bonus at all?
no.
Am I proficient in biting?
Not,
Okay.
you'll have to take it. You'll have to take a fighting style in it.
Fighting style.
You gotta
fighting.
train under a mentor.
Oh my god.
Teach you how to bite.
So
Yeah, who's the dude that wins the hot dog eating contest?
goodness gracious.
He doesn't chew them, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. so-
He's highly evolved. He is a master of his. I'm
Master
sorry.
of- So anyway, Pocket lunges forward and takes a big old chunk out of the green bean arm. The monster is kind of taken with this as the Goliath, just only slightly shorter than the monster itself, lunges forward and takes a big old chunk out of the green beans. Pocket, roll me a d6.
That's a 3.
3. Okay. So you kind of like rip away from the green bean arm and you chew it a little bit. You find it's really bitter and you're kind of like you shudder a little bit and you feel really heavy suddenly. If you feel like you can't really go really anywhere.
Poison damage.
What is with Emerald just yelling poison damage? You feel like you ate like a whole meal just by taking that one bite. So you feel really kind of bloated and you kind of
I'm
lean
ready
forward a
for a
little bit. Like, oh man. And did you want to do anything else? So you used about 15 of your movement. I'll say you've got like 5 left after the effects of the bitter green beans.
I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna take a step back, I guess.
Take a step back, okay? They take a step back. That brings us back to Vorxan. Vorxan responding to Ivy. There's a what, where, and he uses the entirety of his movement and the bonus action to dash to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Stops up here, kind of looks around, is going to make a... Oh, I better not get my dice mixed up with Josh's dice. Makes a perception check and rolls garbage. So he desperately is looking around, and he makes another dash, finishing the rest of his movement. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30. And makes one more. Looking around. Rolls a natural 1. Sees absolutely nothing, and that's going to finish out.
Wow, incredible.
He goes blind.
Next up, back to Reggie. Reggie's going to... Does he have anything actually helpful? So Reggie's going to spend his turn. He's just going to like stare down the beast, not making any particular rolls or anything. His turn. He's staring down the beast, stares at its eyes, and he kind of makes this grandiose gesture towards Ivy. She's right. There's more to this. We've got to find there's something around. It's not a person, but it's something around. He's going to use his movement. Josh, what did you rate his movement at?
30.
His movement is 30.
To
What
go
species
around
is he
here.
again?
As long as he's not a halfling, a dwarf, or a gnome, he has a 30-foot movement.
Okay, donkey. All right. He's going to make a perception check as well. Rolls a 12.
Awesome.
Finds nothing. He's rifling around in the grass, and he doesn't see anything. Next up, we've got Solace. Your turn again.
What is it that they're looking for?
Something.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
Just something.
I've yelled out. There's something around. There's something to be found. Reggie agreed that there's something to find, something more to this creature.
I don't know if I should roll to do that or just attack it. Can I do both?
Do you want to check out the monster first?
I guess.
So you look at the monster, and it looks even more uneasy in its form, as if at any moment it may just fall apart almost. It's kind of like moving around, trying to make itself as if it's trying to make itself comfortable in a, like, you know, if you're trying to make yourself comfortable in a seat, you just you keep adjusting yourself. The monster's doing that. It's just constantly kind of moving around as if it's trying to get itself more comfortable how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to attack it, or do you want to try to look?
I don't have good perception. I'm just going to attack it.
All right. So you're still within 10 feet.
Also, if you're looking for something specifically, it would probably be an investigation check instead of perception.
I'm not good at that either.
So if that helps people, if they have proficiency in that.
All right. I rolled a 19.
That definitely hits.
Dope.
Really
And
good
I'm
this
going to
evening.
use
So, well, what am I
Divine
gonna
Smite,
Ooh.
which means... Mm-hmm. Ooh. I do 20 points of damage.
Nice. All right.
I don't think we needed the oven to roast the turkey.
Maybe you're right. Let me count. All right. So, Solace lunges forward with the glaive, smacks into the creature as hard as he can, and the creature shudders one last time as the glaive goes right through where the turkey and the kind of mashed potatoes at the bottom of the creature connect, and the glaive goes right through it, and the whole creature kind of tumbles apart, and the creature is kind of laying there, almost as if defeated on the ground. Then everybody notices the pile of food begins to shudder, and so I would like everybody to go ahead and make me a Dexterity check. Everyone except for Vorxan. So I gotta roll.
11.
Reggie fails.
You mean a saving throw, Michael?
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. A saving throw.
A dex saving throw.
Yes.
11.
I got a 9.
11, 9. Reggie got a 2.
16.
16.
Pocket got
Kiki,
a
do you
20
have-
total.
Pocket got a 20 total. Nice.
Kiki, do you have advantage on Dexter saving throws?
Yeah, I was gonna say I would
I'm-
imagine that Kiki does.
Wait.
Dexterity
I have
saving throw.
advantage. Let me roll again.
Oh, I think. Wait, is that based on our class?
Yeah.
It should be.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
On the sheet. Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I didn't know
Who's
what that
rolling
meant.
for advantage on dex throws?
One more time,
If
Karen.
you have advantage on Dex throws.
No, but
Yeah,
who had advantage
dexterity
on
saving
dex
throw.
throws again?
I do.
It dep-
And Kiki.
I guess I do.
If
Yeah,
it's
it
for,
would have been
Kiki in pocket.
would have been something you wrote down.
if
So like
it's for danger sense, then that's only I think only for traps.
no. So like saving throw. Dexterity. Bam.
No.
So I
Works-
thought you just added a proficiency to that. Do you not?
You do.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
just add
You
proficiency.
got the
Josh
dots.
would-
If you got the dots for the saving throws filled in, you add your proficiency modifier.
Danger
And
sense it
I
doesn't
get
trust traps.
advantage?
No, I think it's just you would just add the proficiencies and everything to it.
Oh, then I don't think I have advantage. I think I'm just proficient.
Which goes way
So-
longer. Which goes further than.
So anyway, okay. I think the only one who succeeds this is Pocket. Pocket rolled like a 20, or Pocket got a 22. So upon defeation, it's a special ability called Just Desserts. The pile of food shudders and then explodes outward and covers everyone in food. So everyone who failed that save, which again was everybody but Pocket, you now have the voracious condition. So
What?
for the equivalent
Hello.
for the equivalent of 2 turns, because of this status condition, you are now you're going to go either rifle through your pack or just grab food that is sprayed all over you and you're just eating it. That is kind of your turn. You can move around, but any other actions you're just stuffing your face with as much food as you can manage.
Oh my gosh. I'm alone.
So Pocket does notice that. Well, I say that. So as Sauce has defeated the creature, I think the next person up is going to actually be the bird itself or the remains of it. So everybody notices that where the bird, wherever all the food exploded out from, as everybody's stuffing their faces, I guess really only Pocket and Vorxan noticed because Vorxan wasn't in range. There are now components on the ground. So the components are going to actually, let me check there.
They're gonna
Commercial.
reform like the Iron Giant.
One of them is going to go.
I think I was thinking of your advantage against saving throws against being frightened. So I was thinking of for Kiki.
What has all these cool advantages?
I'm going to change.
I don't.
Well, your rolls are better than mine.
It's because
That
you're
was-
both human.
Bam! Get wrecked.
That's just if I get a 1, though, right?
And then
Nah, it says you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened.
Anyway,
Unfrightened. What?
so
Yeah.
these 3 are going to
Oh, I see. Yeah.
drop it. Is that what happened? Anyway, I can't find the purple d20. Maybe it's somewhere here. Anyway, in the meantime,
Don't lose my purple d20.
I'm not gonna lose your purple d20, although I should. It's Josh's win sake. I wins all the time, always, ever. Okay. Anyway, well, in the meantime, we're gonna use this one. I'll look for it in a minute. 4. Come on. Okay. You see 3 of the parts kind of dash off to the side over here, kind of towards the fire pit. It is now Ivy's turn. Would you like to move at all?
Okay, so the table's been thrown, completely gone.
There's no table, correct?
No table. The food on the table has been splattered everywhere.
No, where
Oh,
the
it all
turkey
got
monster.
it all got soaked up. So I guess the only food that's around to eat is the food that's like covering me.
Yes,
Okay.
or any that you might have had in your pack.
Okay, do I have any... Two questions. One, do I get to make like a wisdom saving throw to try and snap out of this, or is it like straight past the brain and onto like the body?
Straight past the brain. You are covered in these smells of the most delicious food that you've ever had in your life.
So
So
it's like magically
you're
induced
covered-
hunger,
sort of, yeah.
and I have no chance to resist.
Nope.
Okay.
You already had
What
your
kind? Do I have any like tasty meats and veggies on me?
You notice that at your feet, where you are, so you are everybody's kind of covered in mashed potatoes, even Pocket, although Pocket resisted the voracious condition. Everybody's kind of covered in mashed potatoes, but you notice at your feet there are actually a couple of pork chops lying in the grass, as well as a kind of clump of cinnamon apples.
Eat now.
All right.
I give
so
in, dude. I
you
give in to
you
that
step-
right now.
So you step forward right here. This is where the cinnamon apples and the pork chops were, and you just
Give me the meats.
you crouch down and you just like stuff them in your face. Oh, do you have the die, Josh? Why do you have that with you?
It's gonna stop a bullet,
Josh,
dude.
you're muted.
It's part of the set that I took with me.
Okay, cool. Well, as long as you know where it is, sweet. Anyway,
Take a set of dice with him.
he wanted to play D&D with his family in Babalamba.
Oh, really?
Next up,
He didn't tell me nothing. That's cool.
Kiki. What would you like to look for
Yeah.
around you in your hunger
I'm just
estate?
gonna sit down and eat just
You're gonna sit
whatever's
down?
on me.
Yeah, all right. So you
Whatever.
kind of like you're scraping mashed potatoes out of your hair and you're stuffing them in your mouth, and they have this rich, creamy flavor, and the floral scent when you were harvesting them is coming through as well, and it's just some of the most delicious food you've ever had. So you
This is making
gladly,
me so sick.
gladly sit down. Next up, Pocket, the only one who resisted. What would you like to do?
Guys,
Save us.
don't eat it. It tastes really bad. The green beans are terrible. Just don't, and you'll feel sick. I'm just okay. And I guess I'll go to the nearest meat lump guy.
Meat lump. Oh, the ones that split off. So okay, so in front of
Food
you,
lump.
you see a non-moving, just like the body of a roast turkey. And then you saw run off to the side what looks like a maybe like a pile of stuffing or something like that. Very obviously a pile of the purple mashed potatoes. And what was my last one? Oh, the red, what kind of formed the head of the construct, the cranberry pile, all kind of slunk off to the side. So which one do you want to go for?
Cranberries.
The cranberries. All right. So 5, 10, 15, 20,
The cranberries.
25. So
Eat that
that's actually
cran.
this last one right here. What would you like to do?
I would like to smash it with
like to
my
smash it?
maul.
Yeah. Okay.
Smiley. Like Smiley can't get sick. All right, that is it's a 19.
19 definitely hits. You want to roll for some damage?
Sure. All right. Thanks. Where are my dice? Okay.
Wait, is Smiley your maul or your hammer?
The hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my maul.
It's a hammer.
6. It's
11
11.
damage. All right. So,
Mhm.
Pocket
Oh, plus rage damage, so 13. Sorry.
13. Okay. Pocket winds up, brings her hammer straight down onto the mash, and the mash kind of splatters around, and feeling satisfied, picks the hammer back up, and it just reforms, looking no different than when you swung your hammer down on it.
Oh,
Jesus.
cool.
Next up, we've got back to the top of the round, Vorxan. So Vorxan turns around, not finding whatever Ivy and Reggie instructed him to look for, turns around and sees everyone just scraping food and stuffing it in their mouths. Mad. And Pocket smashing the cranberry sauce kind of everywhere. He's
What a
going
sight.
to- yeah, what a sight indeed.
We look
he's
fucking
going to-
crazy.
What have we come to?
He's going to dash forward.
We've come to dinner.
20 right here. And again use his both of his daggers to 18. And a nat fucking 20. Yeah, Vorxan, get it.
Oh, yeah.
So those definitely hit. Oh, he's attacking, by the way, the what looks like the pile of stuffing. So he's gonna slash straight into this bread and spices. It smells great. He's slashing right into it. He's going to throw this one, and he's going to throw this. So, all right, he does 8 damage. He slices his dagger straight through and kind of sends breading flying everywhere. But the pile itself kind of like shudders and undulates a little bit, and really doesn't look any different either. Reggie's next up. Reggie's like thrown his bow to the ground and like laid down, and he's just like scooping mashed potatoes and green beans just into his face and all over his body, just shoveling it as best as he can. And he's actually going to take a few steps forward, 5, 10, like that. He's just walking forward and lawnmowering it up as best as he can.
Somebody make a mashed potato angel.
I am the cleric.
Next up, Solace.
God. He's just gonna. He has a bunch of food in like his pockets already before he even came here, so he's just gonna eat that.
All right. The most gracefully of everybody, instead of just this voracious condition coming over him and shoving his face like everyone else, Solace, very calmly sits down and kind of reaches in his pockets and starts snacking on bread and just ripping all the snacks out, leaving them half-eaten in his lap, and picking the half-eaten things back up, taking a couple more bites, setting it back down, picking up a different one, and just working through all of them all at once.
The boy knows how to eat, so he'll get through it.
So next up, back to the creatures. Oh wait, I moved the wrong one. That was here. This was 5, 10 of Reggie moving forward. I moved the wrong one. Back to the creatures phase. After being kind of assaulted a little bit, the cranberry surprise is gonna run around this way a little bit. I guess it's still within 5 feet of you, isn't it? Which one? Oh, this is the potato mash. I need to change this one actually. Okay, the potato mash kind of slinks off this way, giving you an attack of opportunity pocket in just a second. And then which one was this one? 3 was the this was the stuffing, right? The stuffing kind of slinks itself off this way, also provoking an attack of opportunity from Vorxan. So pocket, if you want to do that now for me. 10. Vorxan slashes, but just barely misses the stuffing.
I got a 22.
22. All right, that definitely hits. You bring your hammer down as the mashed potatoes are slinking away from you, and right into it, and you spray purple everywhere. You kind of, after seeing what happened with the cranberries, you swing your hammer off to send it flying. But while you end up sending, you actually end up sending most of it flying. So it actually does get an additional 5 movement, so it's going to go this way a little bit more. Because you sent it just way out of the park with your hammer swing. Next up is...
Do you want to know what the damage was, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Partially because you sent it flying, and partially because it doesn't matter. Next up, Ivy.
Okay. Am I still under the voracious condition?
You are. This is your last turn of voracious.
Okay. I mean, I have to.
Yeah, you are going to continue eating.
Okay.
We can't do shit.
No, I'm just curious. So I take it in the 6 seconds I tried to voraciously chow down on a big pork chop.
You did. You ate the 2 pork chops and the whole pile of
in
you're almost
6
through the pile.
seconds?
Yep.
Oh God, this is magically induced hunger. Oh, this is bad.
And then you're about halfway through the pile of cinnamon apples.
So
and
I take it that means there's still a pork chop left.
No, you ate the 2 pork chops. They weren't very big pork chops.
I thought there were 3 pork chops.
No, there were 2 pork chops and a pile of cinnamon apples.
Okay.
So you wolfed down the 2.
It's cinnamon apple time.
They were about that big, so you wolfed those down as quick as you could, and you're halfway through the cinnamon apples.
Someone get me a roll.
with Ivy with her mouth full. Someone give me a roll. Come on. As you finish eating the pile of cinnamon apples, and it's almost as if you kind of like wake up out of a trance, and you feel very satisfied and almost a little too full, as if you ate too much. But You kind of snap
I have
out of it, and you're
I have
like,
two urges. One, I need to burn something. Sacred fire. Maybe some of the things that are attacking people. Two, I still need a roll.
all right, next up, Kiki.
Yeah, same as last round. I'm just
Same as
still
last round?
sitting there eating,
All right.
completely
So
oblivious.
your voracious condition, you've run out of food in your little area, so you kind of go from your sitting down position, you actually lean forward and move forward a little bit. So you're gonna move
Damn
forward
it.
2 steps right there, about 10 feet, as you're just kind of like finding food scraps and stuffing them into your mouth. You kind of come to on your hands and knees and looking at the food on the ground, and you're just kind of concerned as to how much food you've just eaten and how short of a time span. But you are now also free of the condition. Pocket, your turn next.
Okay, I gotta go for the turkey because that's not a blob. I think, right? There's a turkey thing.
Yes, there is a turkey.
I'm
thing.
going to go for that turkey thing.
Okay, you're going to run 5, 10, 15 over here.
Yeah.
The cranberries are actually going to get a little squish of opportunity. It's not quite an attack of
That's
opportunity,
okay.
but how does an 18 sound for you?
That'll hit.
That'll hit.
Mhm.
All right, you're going to take 3 points of damage. 3 points.
Oh.
3 points of potato damage.
No, that was the cranberries that were on that side. You kind of feel
Was it like bludgeoning or?
no, it's
Smooshy.
kind of it's not bludgeoning, it's smooshy. It's more of a magical type of damage. You feel as you run past, the cranberry kind of lashes out at you, and where it brushed you, you feel your skin burn and tingle a little bit,
Ow.
like a really bad burn almost. And you kind of feel it as you kind of separate and you brush all the sauce that was on you off, and your skin actually turned a little bit red there. Where
Don't eat the cranberries, guys.
all right, so you arrive at the turkey. What would you like to do?
To attempt to smash the turkey.
Smash the turkey.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Yes. Oh dear. I keep rolling my dice off the table. Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Hey, it probably
Don't
doesn't
forget-
do anything,
don't
but I'm gonna
forget double your
try.
dice.
What?
Don't forget, double your dice.
Okay. All right. So that's. So 15 points.
15 points. Did you double the dice?
Oh, sorry. 15. 17 points.
17 points. Okay. All right. You smash into the turkey. This huge body. Your hammer is big enough to leave a sizable chunk out of this turkey carcass. That again, it looks very delicious. You feel kind of bad as you swing your hammer into this deliciously roasted turkey, and your hammer goes through the skin and into the meat of the turkey itself, and peels away as if it's been smoked for quite some time. It, just kind of like falls apart as you smash through it, and you hear the crunch of the rib cage of the actual turkey itself. You pull your hammer out, and you just kind of see like an inky black hole in there as light would be coming in one end. It's really very dim and dark in there, but just looks like a really giant turkey. So pull your hammer out. Would you like to do anything else? I think you have a little bit of movement left.
So like it didn't like pop back forth. It looks a little smashed now.
Yeah, it's got a big hole in it.
Okay. Awesome.
I would
Then,
like to remind everybody that they have D4s, or at least the people who I gave D4s to.
You gave it to Vorxan and Reggie for 2 of
I
them.
haven't had to use it yet.
Yep.
I really have no conclusion on this, so I'm not gonna shout anything else. I'm just gonna stand there. Because I don't know.
All right. So back to the top of the round. Vorxan, seeing that his slashes really didn't do anything to either of these creatures, he kind of sheaths his daggers, and let me make sure that. Actually, why don't we do this? He's gonna take a step forward and turn to his side, facing down the stuffing. Very tired of this stuffing. He's going to make his lightning breath attack straight at the stuffing. And wait, okay. Stuffing definitely failed, so it's gonna take.
God damn, Vorxan, you burnt the stuffing.
He's gonna crisp
Oh
it
man,
right
this
up.
stuff is tough.
It's
Ruined Thanksgiving with the burnt stuffing.
do it.
Hold your pun until you see the whites of their eyes.
It's gonna take 14 damage into the stuffing. Sweet. Stuffing, you see the lightning arc through it, and then as it kind of passes through the stuffing and goes out the other side, because it's a very powerful line of lightning, you see out the other side, the lightning, instead of the normal blue color of Vorxan's lightning, it's kind of like a grainy brown kind of color coming out the other side. And you see as the lightning ends, where the lightning was going out the other side is now stuffing has actually blown out the other side with the lightning. You see the stuffing kind of like start to kind of roll back to the main mound, and the main mound shudders and then kind of stands itself up more upright, making itself seem a little bit taller. The stuffing has gone from being about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground. It is now about the same height as Vorxan. So I think that's like 6 foot. Yeah, 6'8" off the ground.
Whoa!
Next up is Reggie, who finishes his voracious turn. He stuffs the rest of the food that he's been shoveling in his mouth. So he kind of again keeps shoveling forward, and then he kind of again he's like everyone else snaps out of it. Oh God, guys, we have a thing we need to be doing. We don't have time for this, guys. He's going to really quick because he's right there. Make an investigation check and stop sucking, Reggie. Please, for the love of God, does not find anything. His investigative skills are bollocks. So next up, Solace. Would you like to finish your turn as well?
I'm all done there. Finished all the snacks in my pockets, and guess when I snap out of it, I'm gonna try and look for whatever it is you guys are looking for.
I'm looking for a roll.
All right. Give me a. Cameron is looking for a roll. I'm also looking for a roll. I guess an investigation or perception, whichever one. If you have advantage for either one.
I don't have advantage, but I'm gonna go for it.
Thank you so much. It's setting it up.
That's a nat 20.
Oh,
hell yeah.
That's the roll. That's almost the roll we're looking for.
Solace, seeing everyone running around after finished stuffing his face with the snack. Well, not stuffing, but eating the snacks very casually that he had. Wipes the rest of the stuff off of his mouth, and he looks down to his feet and he sees the cornucopia there. And would you like to pick it up?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So you pick the cornucopia up. You have to put away your glaive, by the way, to pick this up. So
okay.
So you put away your glaive and you pick up the cornucopia. You kind of feel a sort of magical energy as you pick up the cornucopia. Would you like to make any checks for it at all, or are you just gonna hold it because you can't attack if you don't have your actions yet?
I don't really have any. I don't have any thing with Arcana. I do have Divine Sense.
Divine Sense? What is that?
But I don't know that this is going to be helpful though. Just the presence of strong evil registers on my senses.
Okay. Just only strong evil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong evil or powerful good.
Okay, as you pick up the cornucopia, you feel an energy kind of pulsating through this. You almost feel as when you pick it up as if you're picking up a creature in agony, as if a creature has been kind of abused and kind of mistreated for a very long time. And so you pick it up and you feel this energy coming off of it, and that it just wants to do good. So,
as a part of this, by the way, I can sense the location of any celestial fiend or undead.
Okay, you sense neither of those.
Okay.
You do also feel. I should also add. You do also feel the an incompleteness as you pick it up. You kind of feel like you're. You may notice. You may understand this better because of your character. But you feel like a hollowness, like you're missing something as you pick this up, as if it wants something, or needs something to be able to fulfill, like to complete whatever it wants. And at the end of that, everybody has finished the voracious conditions that they were in, and it is now the food's turn again. So, due to the damage that Pocket has done to the main turkey, all three of the moving components let out a really horrifying screech. So, 15, oh, you're in range from that one. 5, 10. So everybody except for Ivy, go ahead and give me a, I guess a Constitution check. Yes, a Constitution check.
Ooh.
A saving throw?
Saving throw.
Yeah, or sorry, I say yes. saving throw, sorry.
D4.
18.
18. Oh shit! Right, Vorxan has to roll this.
That's really sad.
Damn it. Got an 8.
Puck got a 9.
Okay. 9. So what did Solace get? You got the
18.
highest one. 18. Okay. So everybody except for Solace, this horrible screech kind of like brings you to your knees almost, and you kind of lose sight of the creatures. And so Solace is the only one who's going to really notice this. The creatures are all going to dash back to this point over here. And anyone who's affected by that, you wouldn't get normal attacks of opportunity or anything like that. One of them did run past you, Solace, if you would like to... Oh, wait, no, you put your glaive away. That's right. You're the one with the cornucopia. So never mind. You don't get attack of opportunity either because you have the cornucopia. So as the creatures went back, everyone kind of comes back from the moment of being being shooketh, as it were, from the screech. And you all see all the ingredients kind of rushing back. Kind of, it's almost as if they're like doing like a football huddle, like kind of chatting with one another. And then you see yet another bright flash of light. And once again, standing where the food was, you see the construct once again. This time a little bit more sure of itself. It doesn't look as shaky as it did before, and it doesn't look looks a little bit more comfortable in its skin as it kind of is moving itself around. And this time you kind of feel a little more intimidated by it.
He a little more big? Or is it
No,
about
it's the same size. It's still
Okay.
like 11-foot tall, just monstrosity of food. Next up, so after that, Ivy, it is your turn.
What to do?
I would like to cast Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame. All right, go for it.
Sacred.
Oh, I need to. Where's my? There's one.
He has to succeed on a Dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity.
On.
What's the DC for it?
Third.
What the fuck? Okay, what happens when he fails?
I get to roll a D8.
Yeah, why don't you go date yourself then?
I roll a 3 for damage on it, so it takes 3 radiant.
3 radiant damage. All right.
And then I will say out. How does the cornucopia work? I don't feel any aura, but I remember the cornucopia did the suck, but I'm gonna be looking for a roll.
In character, Ivy says, "I know it did the suck."
SUCC.
Yeah. Do I see
By the
like?
way, guys-
Do I see like rolls or bread? Please.
You actually notice a few feet to your southeast. There's a bread conveniently towards where the monster is.
Remember that any
Get
casters
it.
can still cast a up to a level 2 spell on their bonus action.
We don't have level 2 spells yet, John.
I know, I'm just saying you can cast up to a level 2 spell as a bonus action because homebrew.
1 spells too.
Yes.
Really?
And cantrips.
I can cast any of those as bonus. I've been able to do that the whole time.
I'm sorry, I thought that was a known thing.
We established
taking-
this last week.
Yeah, because
So,
we're taking more rules.
I must have been away from my keyboard or not paying attention. That's probably the first one.
I mean, you haven't ended your turn yet. You walked over, you picked up a roll after casting Sacred Flame. Anything else you want to do?
Wait, so can I
Yeah.
cast Sacred Flame again?
Sure. I think so. If you whatever your spell, yeah, because it's
Dex
as a
throw.
bonus action.
Bottom text.
Bottom text.
That's probably my
the
favorite in
DC is still 12, correct?
13.
Or 13?
Yeah.
Josh, what happens when you match? That's a success or is that a failure?
Success. Meets it, beats it.
That's a success. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So he
so,
get a 13?
He did. Yep, got a 13.
No damage.
No damage. All right.
So I've got my
that'll finish out
roll
your
and I'm
turn.
busy cramming it in my face. This is happening.
Kiki, you're up.
Oh, okay. Attacks aren't really working, and we have the cornucopia. We also, okay, I say out to everyone, guys, I think I got this figured out. It has to do with those messages we got at the beginning. And then, okay, I'm gonna go up to the turkey. I'm gonna walk up to it.
Okay. Straight up to it.
And I'm gonna say, I am very thankful for your sacrifice. And I hug it. And that's my turn.
Okay.
I love it.
Wow.
Go ahead and make, I guess, well, no, everyone will notice this. So, well, actually, especially Solace. So, as Kiki walks forward and hugs the monster and speaks forth her gratitude, the cornucopia begins to glow a little bit brighter, and you notice some runes up the side of it. Some runes up the side of it begin to glow, and then you notice as you look a little bit closer, Solace, that there are more runes up the side. So, you have that information.
Oh my goodness.
So, Pocket, it is now your turn.
Okay. I will kneel, like give a little bow and be like, I am thankful for you as well and your nutritional value and the people around me, because thank you.
Solace, you notice a few more runes light up, as well as it begins to glow. The cornucopia begins to glow a little bit brighter. Back to the top of the round. Vorxan.
Vorxan, take a hint.
Vorxan kind of calls out, well, fine, if we're all doing this garbage feelings, whatever. And he kind of steps forward a few steps, keeping back a little bit, though. Kind of like kicks the dirt a little bit and looks down and mumbles just loud enough kind of so everybody can hear it. I guess I'm thankful and whatever shit that y'all are my friends, I guess. And you notice a few more runes light up on the cornucopia. Next up is Reggie's turn. Reggie, again, does the same, kind of steps forward a few steps and says a few words of thanks. Thanks for having me along, guys. I know I'm not always the best shot or anything with my bow, but thanks for having me along, guys.
We didn't have a choice.
You notice a few runes light up on the cornucopia, and then one goes back down to being
Ungrateful.
Next up, Solace, your turn.
I guess I'm gonna step in close too. I feel like I need to get that cornucopia close to him.
All right, I'm gonna move 10 forward, so you're right there, kind of unobstructed towards the creature.
Sure. Yeah. And Solace is just gonna look at it and then just say, thanks for the food.
You notice a few more runes light up. One that had lit and unlit is now permanently lit up, as well as one more. Although you notice there is still an odd number left of the runes left. Actually, you're short one rune, and then you actually notice as well as feel it with your was it the divine sense or the so with your divine sense as well. You feel from the cornucopia that the feeling of emptiness and hollowness is almost gone, but and it's almost as if it's kind of encouraging you with like the good energy it's giving off, but then it's also kind of indicating it needs something else.
Oh.
So.
Why is this up to me? Ivy hasn't given any thanks yet.
It's not my turn. Fuck you.
So the bird is gonna Black Friday, straightforward. So 5, 10, 15, 20, straight this way. Pocket, Vorxan, and Reggie all need to make the. Which saving throw was that? I think that was the strength saving throw.
Yeah, it was.
Alrighty then.
That's good.
So, Pocket.
Crap. I grabbed.
No, you just have to do a
nearest-
strength saving throw.
Yeah,
Wait, what? Oh,
yeah, strength
Oh,
saving
okay.
throw. Sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. I was confused. I missed that part. Okay. Oh, that's naturally 18, and then plus my strength, which is like.
Lol.
Okay,
Oh,
so
not to like damage myself or whatever, but I was hugging the turkey.
oh,
Am I okay?
okay. So here's what's gonna happen. So, as a turkey, you see it kind of bend down a little bit and it rushes forward. Kiki's still desperately holding on to it as it charges forward. What was your strength roll one more time, Pocket? What was your saving throw? It was 18 plus.
8 plus 7.
So okay, so it's over 20.
So,
Yeah.
Casually.
Well, that sounds well over
Casually,
20 to me. So you actually cut its movement speed down in half. You brace yourself forward as this thing comes rushing at you, and it kind of meets you. And instead of moving its full 20 feet, it moves 5 and then 10 right here. So Vorxan and Reggie, because they've already failed their saves, they get knocked back 5 feet straight. But the two of you come out unscathed. Well, I mean, no one takes any damage actually, but you didn't go anywhere that you weren't already gonna go. Kiki, you're still kind of like clinging to this creature. And Pocky, you're like you've met it, and you kind of like separated now, and you're there and ready. Next up, Ivy.
I would like.
Make it good.
I give thanks for this opportunity to change the world and to do so with such good company.
Oh.
All right.
And-
I
Nerd.
So,
Yo, my character is a good little child, all grown up.
hmm
Like I'm still like, though I haven't like been experienced to the horrors of the world. Well,
all right. So
Yeah.
you
the
see the
world,
runes,
so-
Solace. You see the runes light up. The rest of the final 3 runes light up.
And for
And
my
you now see
action-
a circle up at the top, and you can actually see kind of a glow coming out of the end of the cornucopia, but you still feel that, just to let you know, you still feel that it needs something.
Mhm.
Next up, Kiki.
Oh God.
Wait a minute, I didn't. I still had an. I still had an.
Yeah.
I still had an action and movement.
Your action was being grateful.
That was a bonus action. I'm good at it.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're fair. You're fair. Go.
Okay.
What else would you like to do?
Far east as I can. Start looking and like I use a concentrated action to look for the something.
25, 30 moves your movement speed.
Yeah.
So, all right, go for it. You're using an investigation, or do you want to use any specific kind of skill?
Would it be?
You can use your investigation.
If you're looking for something specific, probably.
You could also try to feel out the vibe in the air, man, and use nature or arcana or religion or something if you're feeling the vibes, yo.
Ask Shantea, where's this thing that I...
Yeah, I'll use I'll try. I guess for this, if you're gonna let me use a religion check, I'll use Shanti. Wait a minute. The oil that I pulled, was it in a ring around all of us?
Yes, it was.
Where was the spot that I missed? Over to the southwest?
Yeah, it was right up against the house. It's just a
Was there
brick
enough
wall.
space for someone to get out?
No.
Okay,
So it's
so
like-
it's just like a tiny, like a
there's
like a
wall
foot. You
and-
said it was like a foot.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
but it's right
good.
up against. It's right up against the house.
Okay, so like no, it's not. No one's leaving. So if like if it was like a cage, no one would be leaving.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Okay, so we go religion again.
Okay.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. You don't feel much going on. You do remember that oil that you poured, and you do kind of look around, and you do see the oil on the ground still as if you had just poured it, even though you figure with the sun and the weather conditions, the oil would have, evaporated up a little bit. It's still just as if you just poured
Or would
it.
have soaked into something, yeah, but it's still just ooh. That's interesting.
Next up, if
Yeah.
Ivy's done with actions.
And I guess I don't have enough time to say out loud.
Oh no, yeah, you can speak if you want.
Actually, I don't know what I would say, so yeah, my turn.
Alrighty then.
I still got cogs turning in the brain.
So,
Mike?
You
I
pocket.
get up
Yes.
and walk for
Yeah.
just
No,
a second.
Kiki.
Kiki's turn.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Because it was Kiki's turn and then Ivy was done.
Wait.
Seeing that nothing has really changed, I'm gonna stop hugging the turkey
Okay.
and back up.
All right. So you step back a few steps. Anything else?
Actually, where's Solace?
Solace is the purple one right here.
Okay, you know what? No, never mind. I'm just gonna stand back clueless.
All right. You're just gonna stand back and chill. That brings us to Pocket now. Sorry.
Pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Ivy, Kiki,
Okay.
Pocket. That's our
Alright.
turn order. Most of our turn order.
I would like to. Who's nearest to me? That's not the turkey monster.
Reggie and Vorxan are Reggie and Vorxan are closest, and then Kiki.
Reggie. Okay. So all the runes on the cornucopia are glowing now, right?
Would you like to see and find out? Solace is the only one who knows that.
Okay, I'll go over to Solace
Okay.
and look at the cornucopia. Cornucopia.
He's too within range.
I would like to investigate the cornucopia.
All right.
That's 18. Ooh, wow.
Okay. You do see that all the runes on the top side of the cornucopia are lit up in a strip all the way up from the mouth up to the tip, and then you do see up at the tip a circle that it looks like it should have that kind of glowing to it, and it does not.
The ring! I don't know. But I'm going to take that cornucopia from Solus. Hey, I need that. And
Okay.
I imagine Solace consents, and I also imagine that Solace would like to immediately pull back out the glaive because not having that shit again.
Yeah.
And then walk over to Reggie
Okay.
and be like, the ring. Put it on the tip
Okay.
of this.
Okay. You
I have no idea if this is right.
all right, Pocket.
This is the only circle I'm thinking of right now.
Pocket. You put the ring on the end of it.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
Hey, if you're doing what I think you want to do, you're probably gonna have to wait till it's Reggie's turn again.
She's taking the ring from Reggie. She took the thing from him.
Okay. Well, she's already used her action to go over, check out the cornucopia, take the cornucopia, and also go over
It's
to
true.
Reggie and also
Okay.
take the ring.
There.
And then put the ring on the end of the cornucopia, right? That's what you wanted to do.
That's more than one action. So
Yeah, I was telling Reggie to put the ring on the end of the cornucopia, so it would
Okay.
be his turn, I guess.
Okay,
That's
so you're
what-
gonna do
yeah,
that ring
that's
his
what I was
turn.
trying to say.
Cool. All right. So that information is conveyed to Reggie.
The dumb thing about how all that works is just because this all happens within the same 6 seconds. So it's like,
To be fair, this Pocket is the best person to do this because wearing the turkey trotters. That's what your boots are called, by the way. Still wearing the boots because I imagine you never took those off.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Does that mean my movement was like faster and I didn't even?
Only around the bird.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The boots are made specifically for turkeys, so really only around the turkeys.
My boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do.
All right, so that
My
ends
boots were made
Pocket's
for
turn,
trotting.
and that ends this round, sort of. You see the doors to the back of the mansion burst open, and the old man storms out very clearly having no inabilities to walking, and he is gripping in his cane very angrily. I went through all this work, and you're all gonna ruin it like this with your stupid thanks. And so he charges forward, straight through,
What?
and that's about where his movement gets. He doesn't have any special actions or anything, so that's where he gets. He's trying to obviously get to the turkey. So
Solace literally, excuse me.
the best part is you're like on the other side over here, so you just like see him charge out, and you're like, what?
What happened?
So
No, I literally yell at him, excuse me?
What happened?
So I'm mad now. What the fuck?
What happened?
Anyway.
old man bursts out of the back doors and is very angry that you're trying to stop the turkey monster. So
He insulted our thanks.
yeah, with your stupid gratitude, he's not very happy about it.
How rude.
So, top of the round, Vorxan. With the old man stopping right next to him, Vorxan is going to make a strength check and grapple the old man. He's going to succeed. Vorxan kind of wraps himself around the old man like, I don't know what's going on here, but our thanks is doing something to stop whatever this monster is, so you're staying right here. So the old man is now grappled.
Yeah.
Now we get to Reggie's turn. So Reggie,
Come on, Reggie.
Reggie sheathes puts his bow away, and he kind of steps to the side, taking the cornucopia from pocket, and he steps over here, and he puts the ring on the end of the cornucopia, and very proudly he's like, "I'm doing something, yeah."
You make Reggie the hero of this story.
Oh, Reggie, no.
And absolutely nothing happens. Reggie kind of after yelling that out, he's very triumphant, holding the cornucopia, and nothing's happening. And so he looks at the cornucopia. The runes are still lit, and he notices that, and the ring spot is still unlit though. So he kind of takes the ring back off the end of the cornucopia and looks at it. And he shrugs his shoulders and he tosses it into the mouth of the cornucopia, seeing if that'll do anything. And I want everybody now to make a Constitution check.
Oh boy. Hey, cool. I did something that doesn't suck.
God damn it, Vorxan.
20.
Is this a check or a saving throw?
Sorry, this is saving. Saving throw. I did.
Can I re-roll if I thought it wasn't?
Hey, do
Yeah,
you have a
I'll let you,
D4? Do you have a D4? Do you have a D4?
No, I don't think Kiki did. I think it was Vorxan and Reggie, and they both burned theirs earlier with something. So anyway,
Pocket got an 11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Kiki,
I got a 5.
5. Ivy,
17.
17.
I did
Solid.
good.
20.
All right, so with 17 and 20, Solace and Ivy are the only ones not kind of pushed back a little bit by the shockwave created as Reggie threw his Ring of Annihilation into the cornucopia.
Oh,
Ring of Annihilation.
Hello.
What?
Hello.
So had Reggie actually, I know he did read his fortune out loud. His fortune out loud was that gratitude can never truly be destroyed, but matter can. So as he throws the ring, cornucopia now is kind of set all the way into its suction mode. And Pocket, what did you roll?
An 11.
11. Okay, good. Because you are kind of right here, as the suction starts sucking you, you feel the suction happen, and you kind of like stand your ground a little bit. It catches you a little bit off guard, but you kind of stand your ground, and the monster is kind of lifted up and sucked all the way back into the cornucopia. And everyone also notices that any food or anything they had in their packs is also pulled out. It's as if the cornucopia is pulling food into itself. And so the cornucopia pulls all the food in, everything
that's a
around,
football
everything on the
game.
ground, everything around you guys is all sucked in. And the monster is finally
Gosh.
pulled in with the last bit of its head. The cranberry head screams out and then is sucked into the cornucopia, and then all the runes go unlit, and the ring falls back out. And then here we are.
Okay.
Everyone's kind of shaking a little bit.
I do a slow clap.
And so immediately, while Pocket is slow clapping, the old man, because Vorxan rolled a natural 1 on his stupid save, the old man broke out. So the old man storms over to Reggie and he snatches the cornucopia out of his hands. I've been working on this. You were meant to be the sacrifice. And so the old man takes off. He's dashing this way.
I
Expecting-
Tell me
trust
the
you.
So,
truth
Cameron,
before.
if you'll remember earlier, Cameron, a couple of your really good rolls on
Yes.
the religion checks were in this first area. So the old man
Yes.
runs and he runs and then smacks into an invisible wall that he had created
Boy!
between you guys. So he smacks into it, not expecting it to have been as blessed as you did. And he
Hell
smacks into it and he
yeah.
falls to the ground and the cornucopia falls out of his hands. And because of the force that he ran into this wall, he kind of knocked himself unconscious a little bit. The cornucopia rolls back a little bit. Vorxan's going to be the first one to dash over and grab the cornucopia and kind of return back to you guys. And would you guys all kind of like to come together and confront the old man about everything that
Yes.
happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna
So-
take my
What
in my
oh,
hand
man.
with my pendant. I'm just going to gently hold a guided bolt.
Okay.
And
everyone
if he
circles up
try, and
the,
if I think he's gonna try some shifty shit, I'm gonna hit him in the teeth with it.
So the old man kind of struggles to himself and he kind of pushes himself up off the ground and pushes his back against the wall. I didn't expect a cleric like you to do such a good job. You didn't seem like you were that experienced or like you've been doing this for so long, but damn it, is this a blessed wall or what? And then
I
Are
he kind of,
you
like-
even old?
He kind of turns around and he pushes his hand against it, very clearly not going anywhere as if it were stone.
I
He
have
turns
a gift,
back
old
around
man.
to face you guys. As Ivy?
I have a gift.
Yeah, apparently you do have a gift. He kind of eyes Vorxan since Vorxan's the one with the cornucopia. So now, because you're all on my land, and I think that it's a little bit better for you if you give that to me, since it's my relic, I would like my cornucopia back, please. Vorxan kind of eyes him, and then because he's right next to Reggie right there, he nudges Reggie a little bit and shrugs his shoulders and tosses the cornucopia at the old man. And at the same time, Reggie throws the Ring of Annihilation at the old man, having activated it now that he knew what it was. Having activated it, and the Ring of Annihilation, now active, goes right through the center of the old man. Basically, the ring now doubled its size, so the gem was about 4 inches. The hole is now about half of a foot, so about that. And that goes as the cornucopia, not as heavy, falls to the ground, and Reggie chucks the ring a little bit harder than Vorxan had kind of dropped the cornucopia. The ring goes flying, and as this kind of basically black hole goes flying through the air, it bisects the old man, and his top half falls forward, and his legs press back against the wall.
Oh.
He kind of lets out.
Get fucked.
He kind of lets out a gasp, having the shock happen to him, as Vorxan and Reggie kind of chuckle to themselves because that was a pretty good plan, pretty much on the fly. They kind of chuckle to themselves as this old man lets out his last breath.
Jesus.
Everybody
Oh.
notices the walls
Oh.
around the kind of invisible wall now has a yellow tint all around you guys, except for the part that led into the house. There was so the part that you didn't finish, Cameron, was just under a window, conveniently enough. Would you guys like to go check out the window because the wall's not going anywhere?
Yes. Also, in here, this is.
I'm with you.
Oof.
All right, so everybody kind of moves over towards the window.
We should.
Quick question, Michael.
Yeah.
Since I can sense strong evil, but I didn't sense this old man. Why? He's obviously evil. He was trying to sacrifice us.
It wasn't with evil intentions.
What?
What?
That doesn't,
So-
just that his intentions weren't evil doesn't mean it wasn't evil.
His alignment, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't around.
I mean,
don't know.
that's true. He wasn't around for most of the fight, and when your ability kicked in, or at least when you told me about it, past the time when you would have known, yeah, you didn't notice. But obviously, when you showed up and he was rude
so-
afterwards, you would have noticed. But he very, very well hit it. So kind of break a little bit out of the game a little bit. So you didn't actually get to. I kind of left out the part where you guys were supposed to talk to him a little bit more over dinner, but I wanted to get straight to the fight because I want to make sure we had time for it.
For paladins and
Yeah.
the whole divine sense thing, that's more of for like forces of good and forces of evil, like from a broader perspective. Like you can't tell if someone's evil or if someone's good.
You can just feel it in the air.
It just says the presence of strong evil
Yeah,
or
that-
powerful good. So
exactly.
I mean, he definitely
So,
wasn't a
the-
strong evil.
the-
He was just kind of like. So
That's what I mean.
And
It's
so,
more ambiguous than it is like a room full of devils or a
mhm.
I think it'd be like
lich
strong.
or some shit.
Yeah, those are like serious.
So again, stepping away from the game, you guys were meant to talk to him. I kind of left that out because, like I said, I wanted to get to the fight because I was really excited for that. But you were meant to talk to him a little bit, and you were meant to find out that his children actually, he hasn't seen them in a long time. And well, I guess I wouldn't have told you this until now, but it was information that existed. But basically, his children died fighting, and he was trying to. It was actually kind of Full Metal Alchemist-esque. He was actually not. That was not his intention to create this monstrosity. He was trying to recreate their favorite foods to try to bring their ghosts out, which is actually what the rosemary oil was for. It wasn't just to keep you in. So
we
he was
should
trying.
have helped him more.
you should-
I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
ghosts could have inhabited your bodies or something.
Yeah, no thank you.
This
could have
is
as well.
this is a little bit of a perversion of a couple of things that I stand for. A slight one. I understand the intentions if I'm learning this after the fact, but
Well,
Yeah.
so as you guys step up to the window, would anyone like to try to force the window open?
yes.
Sure.
I will.
Shit.
How about
Well, I'll
We all
roll,
just bust it
doing it.
open.
I'll roll
I'm
to assist Solace.
I'm rolling a d20 too. I
Oh.
don't know.
A D22, not a D20.
A d20 as well.
Is this a strength check?
Yeah.
I rolled a 15.
20.
She?
And mine was. Oh wait, I can't think. I can't add.
Math is hard.
24. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, Ivy steps up and tries to pull this window open, and the window just does not budge at all.
With a 15?
With Saul steps up,
Wow.
kind of pushing Ivy out of the way a little bit, rubbing his hands together. I got this. All of his force, and the window moves up a couple inches.
Okay.
With a 20?
Okay.
And finally, with a resounding 24, Pocket steps up, goes to open the window, does the same hand, like gonna get those hands ready, pulls out hammer and smashes right through the window.
That's exactly what I would do.
Oh.
And everyone kind of steps through the window, and there's steps around the glass and in the window and on the ground now. Steps very carefully around it, and so you guys kind of end up looking around this house before you head back out the front. And so you look around the house a little bit, and
Does he have
you
any
find-
money
no,
in
he
the
does not.
house?
Well, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, do you want to go upstairs and try to look for it?
Yes,
I wanna
I want
find
to
a
find all
safe.
the valuables.
Okay, well,
Josh, I'm Michael. I would like to mention character. I don't know if this is the best thing for us to be doing without crests.
Oh, it's fine.
so
We
As
don't
a-
have our crests yet, which means we can do it.
But this is
As a-
exactly the kind of
I
this is
kinda
exactly
state
the
that to
kind of
everyone.
thing that crests.
We're not reputable
For.
people yet.
Uh, we're not
So-
reputable people. We don't have. Okay.
We are-
Ooh.
We are searching for reparations for our trauma.
so while you guys
That's
are kind of
bullshit. You know
That's
it.
a very
Like-
Solace answer.
that is very
That
solid
is
answer. But while
yeah.
you guys
That's
are kind
so
of,
in person. Holy God.
while you guys are kind of arguing this out of the whether you should do this or not, Reggie is kind of left and coming back and guys, and kind of turns around a picture frame that shows what looks like a younger version of the old man that you just saw, and a couple of really cute little kids, and a woman in the background, all Elven, but a woman in the background, kind of out working in the field. It's a picture of them with their backs to the house. She's kind of off to the right, and him and his kids are playing in kind of like the center of the picture. So Reggie kind of shows this to everybody and looks back. I guess it wasn't all that bad. And he kind of drops it, and the glass shatters. And as the picture frame and glass shatter because he's dropped it, the whole house starts to rumble.
God damn it, Reggie.
I'm gonna yeet myself right out the window, grab myself by the back of the head, and just.
Would that be yeet or yate?
Why did you
the-
drop it?
Yeah,
He's going to yoke himself.
yeah, the present,
out
yeah,
the
present perfect.
So Cameron, are you actually diving out the window, or are you gonna take a breather for a second? So the house kind of rumbles a little bit, and you guys.
No, I'm out the
getting
window.
out.
I'm out the window.
Solace is
I'm out the
getting
window.
out.
Yeah, I'm going out the window because I'm not straying too far because I'm like, this is breaking and entering.
All right, so everybody, after everybody turns around to kind of get out as the rumbling is increasing and increasing. Everybody turns around, and the window that you guys actually came in is now just a completely flat wall. There are no entrances.
Ah, shit!
And
I slammed
good
into the
lord.
wall because I rolled a 14, so I did so with some.
God
Yes,
damn
because you
it, Reggie.
Because you didn't let me finish. Yes, I've been slammed into the wall. Why don't you go ahead and take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from yourself to yourself?
Oh my lord,
At
that's
least we're not
actually a
stuck in
pretty
the
decent
wall.
chunk.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yo, I got
here.
a bloody nose. What's up?
So Reggie freaks out a little bit. Emerald, you had a question?
Yeah, can I use this axe that this old man gave me and break through the wall?
You can certainly try.
Oh man, we're
It's
about
meant
to
for, it's
the-
meant for wood, but
we're about to raid redemption this.
Are his walls not made of wood? What are they made out of?
brick.
Not everything is made solidly from brick. There's some wood somewhere.
Didn't you say the outside of the house was wood?
Yeah, I did see the outside of the house is wood, but you've noticed that this is brick wall now behind you.
Oh balls!
Everything is brick now.
Oh,
Can
this
I
is
try to
bad.
dig our way out with that shovel?
Yeah, go for it. Give
What's
me
the
a
ground? What's the
give
ground
me a
look
strength
like?
check. It's still a normal tiled.
Is the floor wood?
14.
No, the floor's like a
Does
ceramic
everybody-
tile.
The walls are brick and the floor is tile. This
Yeah.
is atrocious.
Yep, it is.
I was gonna be like, what the heck, Reggie? Why did you drop that?
I
Okay,
forgot
well,
you're a
I
big
think we should
architecture buff,
scatter and
Emerald.
try to find an exit.
All right, so you guys noticed that where you guys had stopped, you turned back around, and the rest of the house still looks normal. You were kind of expecting to turn back around and it all to be brick as well. So you turn back around, and the rest of the house still looks like its nice, pristine-looking self. You still see windows on the front side of the house through a doorway and kind of like a living room area, and there's a set of stairs to your right as well.
Can I go towards the
Stairs.
normal part and go out a door?
Give me a perception check.
It's an illusion. That is an 18.
18. You notice before you even go through the doorway that the illusion kind of shimmers a little bit, and you see just past where the facade of the house with the windows out front is again more brick.
It's all brick, guys.
Well, I guess we should go up those stairs.
Okay, so you guys want to head up the stairs?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but I guess we have to.
Okay, so you guys head up the stairs.
I'm preparing
Um,
another guided bolt.
There's
I'm
so
feeling
as you guys
some
head up,
evil afloat.
as you guys head up the stairs, there's a couple of bedrooms. Again, everything has that picturesque look of the house that you saw when you guys approached the building. But any approach to any of the walls, any windows, or anything like that, again reveals a very solid and boring brick facade or brick behind the facade. Except for there is a room that is you think it may have been a closet. As you kind of go down this hallway and you investigate all the rooms as you're walking past, and all of them end up being the same thing. Some of them look like they would be like the master bedroom. A few of them look like they may have been the children's room, even a playroom from the facade. But again, as you get close, it's all turns out to be that brick look. Except for a closet, which you come into, and the closet is the first place that doesn't look, as soon as you open the door and proceed in, like it is this pristine, beautiful looking house. It's just very mundane looking wooden closet. And in
Wood.
it there is just a couple of shelves about a normal person waist high, so about 3.5 feet off the ground,
I don't know.
kind of
if
lining the edge of this closet. And it's more pictures of that same family. The pictures depict them, playing. There's a few of them with the children in the river and the husband. These are all they're painted images, by the way. But they're the kids in the river and the wife and the old man, but when he was young, the young man.
Does he look like a
Uh,
little bitch?
Does he look like a bitch? No, he does not look like a bitch. He's very genuinely happy and definitely not like the kind of wrinkled old man that you guys had met. He looked like he was full of life and had spring in his step and had this family that was kind of his pride and joy. You look around there.
I'm not gonna feel sorry for him.
There's a few other pictures that you notice of a lot of him and his family, and you really don't notice any other pictures or not. Do you guys want to investigate anything in the closet, or do you want to keep searching the upstairs?
I
Can I
would
pick
like
up-
to
I'm searching upstairs.
Okay,
look on the back of the pictures.
back to pictures. All right. So Pocket walks over and picks up one of the frames. She picks up one with the family. The both. This one is actually just of the kids. It's the two children, boy and a girl, both kind of like halfway out of one of the upstairs window, as if the painting perspective is from the backyard where you guys were looking up, and the two of them are kind of both halfway out of the window with their waists and obviously legs still inside, but it's like they're both trying to fit out of the window and they can't, so they're just kind of stuck there and trying to fight to be the first one out the window. And you turn the image over, and Josh is the only thing that I will need you. What is like the year, quote unquote, of us doing the rites?
I believe that's 1779.
That's what I thought. Okay, so the date on the back is of the fourth month of 1600. So you flip over a few more of these images. Again, they all have that 1601, 1602, and you see the kids grow up a little bit. None of them really go past that, though.
That's so
Ivy
sad.
wanted to be out exploring. There are a few more rooms past the closet. You find a bathroom and a kind of like a parlor with chairs and tables, as if it was kind of like the room for entertaining. The facade for that one is there's lots of windows all the way around. But again, as soon as you get close to any of the walls, it kind of shimmers and it's just brick right behind it.
Brick by boring brick.
Yep. Does anyone like to do
There-
anything else?
I'm gonna
So-
smash the rest of the pictures.
Okay. All right. So Solace, in a very angry sweeping motion, in the closet, sweeps all the pictures off of the table and smacks the one out of Pocket's hand. Has to jump a little bit to get it. Just dunks it right out of your hands.
Yep.
And as the last picture is smashed, the whole house begins to rumble again, but this time a little bit more intense. And everybody blacks out
Oh.
as the
We're
house kind
dead.
of crumbles on top of them.
Well, fuck.
What?
Come on, guys. You have another
My
trial.
bad.
You can't be sleeping and slacking like this. Everybody kind of comes to in the
was about
the resting hall at the Investia for your trials, and everyone very groggily comes to, and everybody looks around, very confused and concerned at one another, as you kind of all understand that you've all had this same thing, kind of fever dream happen between a lot of you.
That was so weird.
Go ahead and everyone make for me a perception check. One more.
19.
Are you shitting me?
16.
Nat 20. Holy shit.
Woo.
7.
7.
So
All right.
22.
Emerald, I'm gonna blow the wind out of your sails. It really didn't super matter what you rolled, as long as you rolled higher than a 5. So, everybody, as you kind of come to, you kind of sit up out of your bed and you find something underneath your pillows. Everybody, you pull out a single turkey wishbone from under your pillow, and you kind of feel an energy resonating from it.
I
As if,
put it in
item.
my cleric's pack.
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
wishbone, should the need arise, if you break the wishbone, just snap it in half like you would normally do if you were doing the wishbone thing. If you do that at Thanksgiving, we'll let you basically give you the ability to re-roll any roll that you would like, and take whichever one you want from it.
Automatic advantage?
That's cool.
Yeah, but
I'm saving
it's
that
kind of
for
like-
a really.
It's kind of like luck, but you don't have to take the new one.
Okay.
And that item in your pack
That-
is the wishbone, if you want to write it down.
If anybody watched that show,
Oh
I
yeah,
think they
wishbone with the dog.
yeah.
I remember watching that.
Too bad I didn't. It was a dream, so I don't still have that axe.
Or those boots. Man, those are nice boots.
Or the potato shovel.
Or the potato shovel.
Yeah, and Pocket, those boots only worked when you were around turkeys.
And
But
axe only
still.
works on wood. I know.
They
I
were
was
called turkey trotters, and they looked nice.
I was actually gonna be honest with you guys. I was a little worried that like if that was actually an item in the game that you would use them to just chase and torment Maven. Because it just gives you it doubles your movement speed effectively when you're chasing birds.
Ah.
Something you would do, Michael.
Now you know we would like if we found that out. Yeah, you'd end up with those boats.
Thank you guys for my first one shot. I hope
Or-
you
Or just
enjoyed my
like-
story.
It was
Or-
so fun. I loved it.
I wanted to make it
Yeah.
as Thanksgiving themed as fucking possible, so I hope
It
you're-
was
That black-
painfully so.
Thank you for that. I love
The
it.
Black Friday rush. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
good.
good, bad. It was so good.
So I didn't actually get so the names of the creatures I was gonna have Reggie yell them out, but then I was like, whatever, it seems out of place. So the name this one's kind of for Meredith a little bit. The name of the actual monster itself was Meloria, which is a kind of a twist on the scientific name for turkeys, Meloria.
Nice.
And then the individual monsters, the smaller ones were one of them was Melogora's body, and then the other three were Tuffing, Spuddles, and the Craneberry surprise. So that was more for
That's
me when I was
amazing.
writing them because I wanted to have fun and I needed to entertain myself while I was writing them.
I was gonna ask you guys now that we have everybody here, if you want me to insert this dream thing either before or after the first challenge that you guys have.
I was
Probably
about to say,
Where
after
are we?
after this one.
Challenge?
Yeah,
Yeah,
after
we're
the
on
challenge,
the-
so we can all react
We're on the
to
second.
it.
We're on the
like,
second
in-game.
challenge. Yeah, we're on the second
Yeah.
challenge.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
because
after this current
technically
challenge.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I can fit that in.
but that means we don't have the wishbone right now.
Correct.
Aw.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep.
that's
I
fine.
mean, at least you have
That's
a
really good.
wishbone. Maven doesn't even have that.
Oh, that's true.
But
Don't-
Reggie does.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
Reggie
telling.
does have the
Yeah.
wishbone.
Fucking Reggie.
I'm not telling.
Well,
For some
Madison's
reason,
gonna
had this-
notice eventually that we're all using advantage.
I know, no,
And
but
be
then it's like,
why?
where are y'all getting these wishbones? And we're all just like fever dream. Or we just cryptically all say, the old man.
The fucking turkeys.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna want to like find this house afterwards. Does this house actually exist? Must find it.
I feel like if it does exist, it's probably in like the deep forest near Luvian or something like that.
I have
Oh.
no idea.
This is after. Are we getting experience for this? Like,
Nah, it's
At
in
all?
dream.
Or-
It's not like a
dream.
workout.
yeah.
It's a mental workout, but
Oh, yeah.
It's like a REM sleep workout, so not even.
You got an item. Be happy with the item.
Yeah.
It was a
I
patience
asked Josh.
workout.
I asked Josh a lot, and we kind of like went back and forth on the item and what it should be and stuff like that.
I was
so,
about to
yeah.
say
This is a
one
really good
point
one.
of
I like-
one. I was about to say just like giving everybody 1 point of luck is a tiny thing. Yeah, that's like a great item to just drop on people because it can be used like it's awesome at any level.
yeah.
Like, yo, have a luck pendant.
No, you
Well,
just,
dig it.
you know, yeah.
It's a wishbone, but yeah.
Well,
Maybe
guys,
it's like the same thing.
you're welcome for Solace losing his patience and destroying everything, because otherwise we never would have woken up.
Yeah,
We
I was
totally
kinda like,
would. We
I was like,
totally
how long are you gonna be
would.
here, dude?
Emerald, come on. Eventually we'd be like, well, if we can't go anywhere, might as well make the house shake more.
Literally,
then it
the
would-
only items in this house are these pictures.
Yeah. The expediency was appreciated, though, as well as the description, where you're just like cat slapping everything, cat slapping all the pictures. Like, take your
I'm
picture.
done with it.
But yeah,
What is
I'll
Well,
do
thank
another.
you.
Cool.
I'll do another one if everyone
Thanks,
wants
Michael.
to for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, that
Ooh,
would be
yeah.